It's all right.
Hey there! First, checks. Can everyone hear us? Does everyone know that we're here? Wave your hand if you know we're here. And now we wait because there's like a 30-second delay.
Yeah, we don't know how much of a delay.
Oh, holy crap. Yeah, you guys know we're here.
Where's here?
Okay, see this right here? This is just how we're going to monitor comments. But we're going to do our best. But
there is a lot of you
there
here.
are a lot of you here. I would just like to say something. Thank you and welcome to our very first live show. We've actually never done one as the whole channel before. We did a Twitch thing, and we're going to talk about that in a minute.
We've done pseudo live shows, but nothing with this elaborate of a setup where we're actually in studio.
Yeah, does this look any different from our usual videos?
Trying to be more professional, more
I rigged this
engaging.
all up in 24 hours. Seriously, 24 hours. Super duper OG. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate that. And I'm going to try not to be one of those people that just makes it all about donate.
Yeah,
We're not like that, but I'm going to thank people if they do, just so you know.
But our screen is like going whoop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have 150 people in here, and it just started like 2 minutes ago. So how cool is that? But anyway.
I have been nervous about today since some
I want to
time
answer a question right off the bat. Somebody asked, is it possible to make mead with cannabis? It may be, however, it's illegal for us. Therefore, we're not even going to talk about it. It's not the kind of thing we do. We're not going to do it. If it ever becomes legal, we'll talk. But until then, I'm not doing it. I wouldn't know how to do it, so we're not going there.
Since we're answering questions already, I saw somebody talking about cozies for their fermenters. And someone, and I forget who it was, actually got the little dog sweaters like during the holidays, right after the holidays
seriously going to talk about dog sweaters?
Done. Shush. After the holidays are over, they all go on sale, right? And so they bought a bunch, particularly Halloween, which I love. So I thought this idea was super cool. And they used those as their fermenter cozies. And I thought that was a really cool idea.
Sure. That was really... I'm not going there. Doggy cozies. Weird. Anyway.
Not for the dog, for the fermenter.
I know. It's still weird. It's not a bad idea. I mean, I guess it's better than like... No, not really. I'm feeling good about it. I'm confident in saying I don't want a doggy cozy on my fermenter. So we're just... Steve, you are most welcome. I appreciate it. Steve Weaver. He thanked us. Anyway, we're trying to watch the comments and trying to do this. Keep in mind, we've never really done a live show, which means we've never really done this. So trying to keep up with this is a little bit difficult, but we're doing the best we can, okay?
I'd like to say thank you to Kenny, who was our moderator today.
Poor guy.
Kenny.
Kenny is so screwed. He was afraid of this exact thing happening, this many people. So yeah, we're up to almost 200 people now, which is awesome, by the way, that so many people didn't have to work today.
Yeah.
It is President's Day, but I guess a lot of people still work on President's Day.
But we're international, so...
Yeah, which means it's like 4 a.m. for a lot of people, too. So
yikes. If it's 4 a.m. where you are and you were up to watch us, thank you.
Yeah. N2JM, thank you. We appreciate that. I want to ask you guys a question before we even get going. Do you see this microphone right here? Let me just move this out of the way. This microphone right here. If that was in all of our recorded videos, would it bother you? It's a good question. I'm curious because the audio quality of this is actually better than the normal setup that we have. That's usually like up here where you can't really see it. But because it's a little further away, you don't see the microphone. So it kind of breaks the immersion having the microphone in the thing. But is this better for you or not? I don't know. I'm curious. It's just a thought. I just bought this thing today and I love it and I want to play with it more. So, you know, there's that.
Yeah, note to self, if you're going to do some super huge elaborate thing, don't buy your equipment the day before or the day of.
No. I ordered it Saturday. The laptop came yesterday. The cam link came yesterday. And then I went to Best Buy this morning because I didn't have the right cables. And then I bought the microphone while I was there.
I'm just grateful that he's tech savvy because I was freaking out, and he was just like, no, I got this. And he's doing all this stuff. And
Mike Prezino, you're probably right. Brian, you will splash on the microphone. You're probably right. That's my biggest fear with it.
He'll probably splash on it, and I'll probably just knock it across the room with my arm flailing about.
Yeah.
As I tend to do.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest worry. I mean, everybody's basically saying no worries. The person that said, the Wendelson said audio quality sounds the same. Thank you so much. I edit the crap out of that audio normally to make it sound like that. This does it right out of the box. So, that's kind of a thing.
It also has built-in peaking levels so that
ASMR mead making.
When Brian gets really
when I get really loud like that, it doesn't do that. See, like that probably sounded okay to you guys. Derica has no more eardrums. But
What?
Tie-dye the mic cover. Or tie-dye mic cover needed. Tie-dye?
Was that Kelly? Who was that?
Aaron Hardiman said that.
Uh-huh.
We don't tie-dye. I don't do tie-dye. No way.
I know how to do tie-dye.
Yeah, not on my clothes you don't. If you drop it into the mead, make sure to sterilize it first. Yeah, exactly,
We'll just drop it in the turbos first.
Okay, happy to be alive. Will that mic hang or go onto an arm? Yes, it will. I can do that. So that is a possibility as well, to put it up here. The problem, I guess my question is, do you mind seeing it in the video? Not so much just it being around. By the way, if you hear any odd banging, no, we're not being invaded. Her father is outside building our gazebo.
He's on the roof.
He's on the roof now. So he's even though we told him, please don't, he's still making noise. Because he doesn't understand that noise carries,
It's okay. He's doing
but I hate to tell him
lovely things for us, so we can't complain.
Derica is 100 proof. Just 100? That makes her 50%, just so you're aware.
Ouch.
Yeah. Anyway, whose arm? Ha, 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 ha. Hey, Kenny, how's it going? Got to check in.
Hi, Terry. Yay, Stacy's here. Hi, Stacy. Actually, hi, everybody.
Yeah.
There's
Hello,
no way
everyone.
I can look through and figure out who everybody is, but we are so honored and grateful to have you here.
Yeah, this is amazing.
And I know we've started and we've just kind of babbled incoherently, but we're going to get on topic here soon, I promise.
Magi of Thoth. Thank you so much. Wait a minute. We're going to be on topic. Magi of Thoth. Thank you. We just got another thingy.
Yes.
Thank you so much. On topic. What is the topic? I put this up as the City Steading universe when we were supposed to be on Twitch, which let's talk about that for just a second. I got this bright idea to go on Twitch. Now, let me explain why. YouTube did something to one of our videos, and some of you may know, some of you probably don't. They sent me a message and said, this video, it was the second part in the Yakida series. They said, this has dangerous content. Now, dangerous content to YouTube means like hurting people, promoting dangerous actions or products like drinking Drano and things like that, and hurting children. And I'm like, what?
Yay, thank you.
6:30 in the morning, I woke up to that. Charles Robinson, thank you so much. But anyway, 6:30 in the morning, I woke up to that. That ruined my whole day. The video was taken down by YouTube.
So
removed.
we had a bit of a panic attack, and there's an appeal process. So we appealed it, and boom, like 5 minutes later, it says, nope,
it was denied.
It's still out. So
I'm like, the appeal process means a person actually examined this.
And we're not going to elaborate on this too much because that's not why you're here.
Right.
But we went into panic mode. And so, of course, we're worst case scenarioing it, going, oh my gosh, what happens if they take our entire channel down? What are we going to do?
Yeah.
How are we going to talk?
We were worried.
We
were worried.
So we were looking at options, and that's what brought us to Twitch.
Nap Floridian. We'll get to that. It's actually okay.
And we were thinking, well, could we use this? And we knew that it was more of a gaming situation, but they're trying to branch out into other categories. And so we were like, okay, well, we could do this and there was like all these series of if-then clauses, and we were just like, okay, well, it got resolved on YouTube, so we were cool on YouTube again, and we didn't have to worry about that anymore, but we'd already made the Twitch account, and so we thought, well, this would be good to branch out, to have
so we tried
our face in more places. The problem with Twitch is that their focus is on live streaming
and gaming,
and they pretty much want you to do it constantly. So there was no way we can keep up with their suggested turnaround and still do all our videos, our informational videos. So something had to give, and we still want to do our informational
Spike.
videos.
Oh my God. Spike, thank you. That's awesome.
You
For
guys
ingredients in a future product. You guys are amazing.
You're awesome. You're awesome. I'm just gonna dance around in circles for a while. So we were trying to gather as much information.
She will too. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's why he's laughing so much. So we were trying to gather as much information as we could about Twitch and if it would work for us. But the big answer
was, do we need it? And what does it give us that we don't have on YouTube already? And the thing is, on YouTube, this is where you guys are. You know,
Yeah.
I put out a poll on YouTube. Many of you know this, and like almost 1,500 responses or something like that. And it was like literally 68% to 8% against Twitch. Yeah, that tells me. And then when we did it on Facebook, it was like 5 people wanted to see it on Twitch. Now, if you're a Twitch person, it makes sense that you would want it there. But here's my question too, and I think it's already been answered. Would you stop watching us if we only live streamed on YouTube? If we never mentioned Twitch at all, you wouldn't even know. So, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah. But anyway, so that's the story of Twitch and why the screenshot said that, because this was originally supposed to be on Twitch. But I can tell you right now, we wouldn't have 276 people if this was on Twitch. We wouldn't. But anyway. Joe, yeah, if there was an alternative to YouTube without the crazy censorship, I'd be gone. Well, that's the thing. We looked into things, and there are no really good options that do exactly what we need it to do.
Yeah.
We found a few different platforms we could work with, but it's not the same at all.
What we came up with, it was the next...
Orlaith, thank you.
Our next option,
Hi,
really,
Gail.
was a pay-per-play kind of situation. And we really don't want to charge you for each view. That doesn't seem right. But on that platform, we could do whatever we wanted to, but we'd have to charge
Night Flight, I agree with you. Twitch has little benefit. Over what we have already, it really does. If we were starting over from zero and we were gamers, Twitch all the way. But for what we do, I don't know that it makes much sense. Metal Bugs Games, thank you. That's awesome. Unbelievable. Wow, you guys are like the most generous people I've ever seen. I didn't expect this at all. Honestly, my biggest fear in going into this was A, our internet would crash in the middle of it and it would just like blow up. B, the laptop would explode because it's an untested laptop. And C, that like 15 people would show up because we don't do live streams. We're not known for it. So I was like, uh-oh. And then before we even like were on it, there was 100 people. I was like, oh boy. Kenny, I hope you're ready because it's going to be fun. But you know what? You are the coolest people in the world. Yeah. Our fans are phenomenal. The one thing that when I kept doing the research between Twitch and YouTube is people kept saying, don't go on YouTube, go on Twitch because YouTube has the most toxic audience, the most toxic comments. It's the worst. You know what? Not our people. Not our people. You guys are awesome. There is not one person in here so far that's made any comment that I'm aware of anyway. There's a lot of comments here, but nobody has done anything untoward. Nobody has done anything that we would be like, hey, you know, you got to go. You can't be like that. And that's so cool. This is why we're happy to do things like this. And by the way, this is fun. I am enjoying this. And because I bought toys to be able to do it, we're going to do it more often. And I'm getting nudged because I'm talking too much.
No, we need to thank Westo.
Westo, thank you.
So there is a slight problem in our setup here for me, and that's because I'm an old lady now, and I'm wearing bifocals, so I can't get to the right.
Well, then you know what? We're gonna do this.
Now I can read.
I'm gonna put this in front of me. So just give me a sec here.
We're rearranging here.
Yeah, I don't want to lose you though. Almost lost the feed. One Punch Hutch. We're not going to have a toxic crowd here. I'm going to make sure.
No, we got.
Kenny has the big stick. He even told me.
He's right. Ready. He's ready. He's armed and he's ready.
So does this bother you guys seeing this on screen? Let me know. I mean, I just did it so that I can read the chat and she can read the chat and we can both try to interact. Because to me, this is what a live show should be. Not this necessarily, but it should be where you guys talk to us and we talk back.
Yeah.
And there's interaction between us all and you get an answer immediately to things. That's, to me, what a live show should be about.
Yeah.
Not about me making a brew on camera. I might do that sometime just for the heck of it.
Yeah.
But to do it, Draconian Wolf, Thank you, Dragonian Wolf. I always thought it was Draconian, but it is Dragonian. But anyway, thank you very much. I want to the Bandhammer 9000. Yeah. I want to do interesting live shows that are talking about things. And like this one, we wanted to go back and talk about the City Steading universe, but we're not really going to. Benji! Wow, man. We appreciate that. You're already a VIP, too.
I know. What are you doing?
Thank you. We appreciate it. That's awesome.
Okay, so again, as I said, like it feels like 3 hours ago, but I know we haven't even been on for 3 hours.
Wait a minute. Edda's asking a question.
Okay.
Edda, first, I want to say something to you. You are probably the most, what's the word? Prolific commenter that we've had in months. She comments on everything. And I mean, she's gone through all of our videos probably 6 times and commented on them all every time she watches.
Nice.
It's kind of awesome. But anyway, passion fruit. You know, honestly, I don't think I've ever had passion fruit. I don't even know if I'd like it.
So what is growing in the garden?
Are we growing
1,
passion
2,
fruit?
3, 4 passion fruit vines. Now, they're just this small right now because I just planted them in the fall, I believe it was. But supposedly, once they get established, they're just going to go zoom and take over. So we're hoping to have our own homegrown passion fruit soon. And yes, we will be brewing with it.
No, Facebook is the most toxic. LOL. Actually, yeah.
That's what the block button is for.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My favorite button on Facebook. But you know, I don't block my own friends. I block my friends' friends. Like I'm reading through and go, oh, yeah, you're just a jerk. Bye.
Have we ever
Gone.
done a peach mead? We've done a peach mead. We've done a peach wine. We've done a peach
right.
cider. We've
Spirit
done a
Wolf
peach...
1726. I want to ask you a question. Just how many of our videos have you actually watched, if you're going to even ask that question? Because I have made a peach everything, and every single one of them sucked. They were all horrible, or I screwed them up in some way. I could never get it right.
And the reason why we keep trying with peach is my dad, Terry, the crazy man on the roof right now, absolutely loves peach. And so we keep trying to make a special brew just for him to show our appreciation and love for all that he's done to help us here at City Steading. So we will conquer the peach.
Okay.
Someday.
Sadie Vasquez, I have a rather basic question. How accurate is a hydrometer reading in sub-zero temps? Not at all. They are all calibrated to a certain temperature, and it's usually in the 60s range, but every one of them has it right on there. When you start to change, whatever the word would be, when you start to change from that, you get varying degrees of accuracy. However, my thing is, if you always use it in the same temperature, it'll always be consistently wrong. Therefore, it's accurate enough. Because the difference isn't all that much. Like, if it's calibrated for 64 degrees and you're at 72, it's not that different. It's like maybe a point. So if you're at sub-zero temps, though, I'd be surprised if it worked at all. I mean, because your liquid's going to freeze, so that's probably not a good idea.
Terry actually has made quite a few cameos on the Mead and More channel. He's worked with us on a few of our tastings. He, did you taste kombucha? No.
No, he just did the dandelion with us.
Yeah. Yes, he has very interesting insight because he's not a brewer. He's a rocket scientist.
Maestro, you're right. There are. However, sub-zero temperatures, I think the must would be freezing, or parts of it would be. So that kind of negates the idea of the calculator. You have other problems.
And also, if you're brewing in sub-zero temperatures, you probably don't actually have your brew in a sub-zero temperature. You probably have it indoors, I'm going to guess. And so
India,
whatever's going on outside doesn't matter. It's what's the temperature in your location that you're doing the readings at.
Kevin Kahili, what state are y'all from? Are you asking us? Derek is from Florida originally, but lives in California. I should have let her answer that.
And I lived in upstate New York too. But
I am born and raised in Pennsylvania, but I lived in New York, Georgia, Florida. Yeah. Connecticut. I almost forgot about Connecticut because I didn't like it. I had a bad experience.
We're blurry? How are you blurry?
It probably jumped in and out of focus. We can fix that.
Are we
focused now? Who said we were blurry?
It's Steve Scarpelli.
Steve Scarpelli, are we in focus now? It likes to focus on faces. I can put it to manual. That way we don't have to worry about it. And Lemaitre, thank you so much.
Kenny says we're good.
Okay. Internet expert. Dude, thank you. Dudette, if it's a dudette. I don't mean to be.
Yes. Okay, cool. All right. Peach never tastes like anything.
Wow.
So, our original concept for this discussion, this conversation between us and you, yes, was that it was going to be the City Steading universe. And that's when we were on Twitch, because our concept on Twitch was that we were going to be all-inclusive
Of all three of the channels.
Of the City Steading
Because
channels.
the only reason why we have 3 channels is because YouTube's algorithm is
Yeah.
a poopy head,
Yeah.
to quote Derica.
So, that's not what we're doing anymore. Now we are
He is only
here
blurry after too much mead.
on Mead and More. And so we want to narrow the focus on the universe to particularly the Mead and More channel, because that's where we're at right now. So, as many of you know, if you've been a long-time viewer, that our intention was originally on YouTube to be an all-inclusive channel where we talked about everything that we could make on our own, so that way we'd be more in control of the food and products that we utilized on a daily basis. And that really didn't work with the YouTube algorithm, blah, blah, blah. So we separated the channels and renamed the channels and diversified, and then things happened, and Brian's going to laugh.
Westo, I'm getting that beard in glorious 1080p, no problems here. Here you go, just for you. Oh, I should turn the webcam on so you can see it. I can get really close to it.
No. So...
All right, so what's the deal with fermenting pineapple? It always seems to end terribly. Because it's not really something that you want to ferment for a long time. Most people like Tapachi. You want to just do like 4 or 5 days,
Yeah.
drink it before it spoils anymore, and just get it done, get it over with.
Yeah, we did one pineapple. It was a mead, wasn't
Yep,
it?
and it's still aging. 4 years. I might have to do a tasting on that one.
But
again soon.
it does get better each time.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's almost drinkable now.
it's fine. It's just, it was a little rough. We used to make beer, but we don't anymore.
Stacey, I'm not showing that picture. No. She wants me to show the picture when I brushed it all
Oh,
out.
jeez.
No. How long have you guys been brewing since YouTube or before YouTube? Few years before YouTube.
Yeah.
I did it many, many years ago, stopped for a while, got back into it, left it for a while, got back into it. And so it's been an on and off thing for me for a while. Derica started pretty much when I did this last time, because that's when she was involved in my life.
Yeah. But
Okay.
with beer, we're not doing beer so much anymore. We might do ancient grain style old time recipes for beers, but as far as like modern beers or reproductions of...
Yeah, we're not really going to do that. But I'll make like oldie style beer. Country Boy asked, how long does primary fermentation usually take? And that's a really good question. However, the answer is, it depends. There's no one answer, because I can make a super low ABV that'll be done in 3 days.
Yeah.
I can make a sack mead that'll take years.
Yeah.
So there is no answer. Now, for our general meads, stuff that's like, 3 pounds of honey-ish, usually the way we've been doing them, expect 4 to 6 weeks is what I say. It might be done a little sooner, but that's about how long they seem to take. But it also depends on temperature, what yeast you use, any other adjunct ingredients that you have in there. There's so many factors that will affect it.
James asked if mead fermented with lemon, basil, and black tea would be a metheglin. And as far as categorizing your meads, it's not really necessary. Basically, you can call it whatever you want to call it. Metheglins typically are more on the spiced spectrum.
Yeah.
Where mellow
I'm trying to remember
males,
questions so I can answer them.
tend to be more on the fruited spectrum, but because you have both there, it's pretty much up to your discretion.
Okay, first, can I convert pounds to kilograms? Yeah. 1 pound is 454 grams. Therefore, 0.454 kilograms. Easy. Sorry, not to be a smartass, but that's the answer. Somebody asked, crap, it's gone already. Okay, Blackbeard 1666. Would I ever enter a mead competition? I've thought about it, and I probably won't. For one thing, it's illegal to ship mead, so I don't want to break the law, and I don't want to encourage people that break the law that way. So I probably won't. Scott Kelly, thank you. Appreciate it. But as far as would I enter, if it was convenient to do and that kind of thing, yeah. I don't have a problem with that because I've been told by several people that they made some of our meads and entered them in competition the way we made them, and they did very, very well. So
the difference between stalled and finished.
one is actual. Beverly. I know who that is. Stalled means there's still sugars left, but the yeast gave up the ghost. They just aren't going to do it anymore for one reason or another. Finished literally means they've done all they can do and there's no more sugars left, or they've reached their tolerance. They're not going to go any further. Fine line sometimes. And we've used a stalled ferment to keep it a little sweeter on occasion.
We haven't worked with Mangrove Jacks yet.
Yeah, we haven't used that one.
We're going to expand more on different yeast types this year. We've already tried a few new ones to or added a few new ones to repertoire. But we're definitely going to work more on that.
Somebody asked the difference between ale and beer. Is it the hops? No, it's not. Beer and lager are types of ale, I think. I might have that backwards. It's more about the type of yeast. Is it top fermenting or bottom fermenting? Lagers are bottom fermenting. Beer is top fermenting, but ale is basically fermented grain. Or is it the other way around? And it's beer. Beer is the overall name. I forget.
To make a finished mead less sweet is pretty...
Benji enters our meads in competition every weekend. He's the judge and it wins every time.
To make a finished mead less sweet, you just don't use as much sugar, which would be the honey in that case, so that way it goes drier.
Yeah. Which you're going to see us start doing more of that. We're going to start making a few drier ones because, diabetes here. I can't really do the carbs thing so much, and sugar's bad. So, do we plan on adding bees to our garden to get our own honey and pollinate your plants?
We are so back and forth on that.
Sometimes.
It's kind of crazy. There's a rather substantial investment to get going with that. And we are friendly with lots of people who keep bees in the immediate area. And we hear their horror stories about how they're losing hives and stuff. And that, it's tough.
Yeah.
And besides our space requirements and stuff, I really like it, and I really don't like it at the same time. So
Night Flight.
Who knows? Any
Fleischmann's yeast is fine. I've tried the instant dry. I've tried their active dry. It's all the same thing when you brew with it. It's different for breads, but for brewing, it's all the same. Oh, man. Okay, Charlie R., how do you guys get your ideas on what flavor you'll do for your meads? And do you take suggestions? We do take suggestions, and a lot of the time, what we're doing comes from, okay, like 50,000 people have asked me to do this. I got to figure out how to do it. That's where some of them come from, and others are, wow, I think I'd like this. Let's do it. And others are, Derica gets an idea in her head, and it's this conceptual thing that we have to go and do millions of hours of research for, and she puts a funky name on it, and then we come up with a mead for it.
We also take a lot from the conversations that go on in our VIP club and the conversations that we have behind the scenes with our admins, because they are really into trying unique and different flavor combinations.
Derek, we actually do hydroponics already.
And there's some things that they will introduce that we haven't really thought about. And lots of times, if you've seen some of our meads, we say right in there who inspired us to make this recipe. So we really appreciate it when somebody gives us a great idea that we can work and expound upon, and we do that.
The mojito is, yes, that is definitely hers. And maybe, I like that name. Somebody asked for more wine recipes. Yeah, honey gets expensive. You will be seeing more wine recipes, but we also have one coming soon that's actually not an expensive hydromel, or it's a hydromel. It's not an expensive mead to make. It only uses 1 pound of honey, I think.
I think that's right. Yeah.
And that will make it much more affordable as well. With acorn coffee. Nathan, I worry for you. What does it taste like? He made a coffee mill with acorn coffee. Loopy Dude just said it. Yep, we've made it. Oh, you guys are like 30 to 40 seconds in the past from us. So, yeah, you might not. Dragonian Wolf, what is this, man? We ever do a meetup and tasting with our fans? You know what? That is something we actually want to do.
Yeah.
We want to travel and take these shows kind of on the road and do that. And do like, rent a hall somewhere and have all the City Steaders come from miles around and hang out and do stuff together. We want to.
We were lucky.
And then the pandemic hit.
Yeah, we were lucky enough to take a trip to Pennsylvania for Brian to for us to hang out with his mom.
Nap Floridian, you're
and
awesome.
one of our admins, Stacy, who is in the chat right now, hi. We actually got to
Come to Long Island.
to hang out with her and her husband John, and it was super cool, and we had so much fun, and it's just really great because we found through this experiment, if you will, that many of our viewers have quite a lot of the similarities and similar interests that we have, and it's beyond just brewing. And that's super exciting for us. And so the chance to actually go out in the world and see you face to face and give you a big old hug and say, "Yay, isn't this fun?"
When we can actually hug.
Sure.
Daniel Smith,
that would be
thank
awesome. So yes, City
you.
Steading.
In Britannia. Do you mean like England when you say Britannia? Or do you mean, because there's another place that calls himself Britannia. Sorry, I'm a dumb American, okay? Please don't be mad at me for asking that question. I'm asking because I don't know, and I want to be educated.
I would love to go to all the places. All of them. How's that? Yes, hugging.
Okay, Kevin Kahili, we already answered that question. We're not going to be doing any cannabis or CBD or anything like that because it's not legal here. So, yeah, we're not doing that. Kansas honey producers would love to have you speak at one of our meetings.
That would be super cool. Somebody asked earlier if chocolate was fermentable, and this is something that we've had limited success with. We did
the hulls. The best way that I've learned to try to do the chocolate nibs, the cacao nibs. Don Teskey, thank you so much. Guys, by the way, the super chat thing is really awesome, and we really do appreciate it. By the way, we are not pushing it. I'm not saying give us money, give us money. We're not that kind of people. YouTube pays us too, so we're
yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, but we do appreciate it if you want to. I'm not going to tell you don't. Just anyway. What was I saying?
Chocolate.
Cacao nibs. We've thrown them right into the brew, and I don't think it extracts very well that way. I've since learned extract it using vodka or some other neutral spirit and use that in the brew, and that's how a lot of people are getting a better chocolate
we
flavor.
Do plan sometime this year to do a whole series on extractions and creating these extractions that then we can infuse into meads and wines to add flavors like chocolate, peanut butter, etc.
Okay, Emma Lewis, you're right. We do need to come to Wales, UK, because I need to get some sense into you. Tomato and pepper mead does not sound great. I just want to give you a hug and pats and say, please don't make tomato and pepper mead. I'm just joking. There's stuff that you make for cooking with, and there's stuff that you make for drinking. I think tomato, onion, mushroom. Paul, one of our admins, Paul makes mushroom mead. Those are for cooking. He even says it. Yeah, he's like, I don't drink that. So, Theron, thank you. By the way, awesome profile picture. Love that.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's not your picture currently, because I don't want to encourage 10-year-olds to be watching our channel.
Yes. Yeah,
Edda, we're planning to do that. It's not something we're super experienced at, and that's why you haven't seen it yet. I like to have my research done on stuff like that before I start giving out information when it pertains to alcohol. I
did do a video series on extractions where I was making them more for infusing in things that were non-alcoholic. So I did some experiments and we videoed them back in the day when City Steading was just one channel. So I don't even know where those videos exist anymore.
They're actually
they might have
turned off. They're private on the Mead channel right now. I can move them over if you'd like.
Yeah, I don't know, but
they'd be on the Homemade and Healthy.
We can we're definitely going to.
You used chocolate syrup and it worked? Oh God, that's kind of crazy. I mean, I suppose it could work. Somebody else said that they actually put real peanuts in it and they got lucky. Yes, Night Rider, something like that. You certainly did get lucky because they could go rancid. It's kind of a bad thing.
I don't think we've tried coconut yet.
No. We both have a weird thing about coconut.
Yeah. We really like the flavor of coconut, but we don't like the texture of coconut. So if there was a way we could extract the flavor of the coconut.
Night Flight 1973. Thank you very much.
And put that into a brew. I was really excited about the idea of pina colada. A pina colada mead or
Yeah, Etta just asked about a
wine or-
coconut water, wine, or mead. The coconut water, unfortunately, doesn't have enough of anything in it. The alcohol will wipe it right out. Now, that's not from personal experience, but I know a few people have tried, and they said that it turned out like nothing. Like there wasn't anything really there. It was more like a kill you rather than anything that had any real flavors. The honey will just overpower it almost immediately.
Now I know that there's some mead.
Chance Harris, thank you so much. Use durian.
Durian fruit.
Not going to happen. Not gonna happen. No way.
Oh.
I've heard it does not ferment well.
Yeah.
Just so you're aware. Like if you think it smells bad normally.
Well, because it has that creamy, puddingy texture, I don't really see that
It
working
turns
out
into goop.
well. for
Chris
anybody.
Perrin, thank you so much. You boil your cocoa into your cherries. And he absolutely loves us both. Oh.
That sounds really yummy. Chocolate and cherries.
Actually, Chris, you're
Sign me
a
up.
recent VIP member, aren't you? That name seems really familiar.
Yeah, you can do commercial extracts. There's actually a lot of extracts that you can buy at your local brew store. We're trying to
Durian tastes like wet socks.
stay away from that and show you how to do it on your own, which is, kind of our deal here. But certainly you can use a commercial extract.
Somebody asked about dragon fruit. Now, there's a couple different kinds.
Yeah, the dragon fruit that we can get easily here
Doesn't taste like anything.
is kind of boring.
Bland and bleh.
Now, I know that there's another type of dragon fruit
and limate tart cherries better.
that's supposed to be much more flavorful. And if I can get hands on that, if I can get some seeds from that, if I can find somebody in my gardening groups that might have access to that, then sure, we will definitely try that.
Chance.
Yay, thank you.
Thank you again.
And hello.
By the way, I love your name. When we played Neverwinter Nights online, I had a character named Chance. People made fun of the name. I'm like, what's wrong with the name
Great
Chance?
name.
It's an awesome freaking name. I wish I was named Chance.
So a port is a distilled wine.
No, it's
No,
not.
no, it's not.
It's a fortified
It's a
wine.
fortified wine.
So
but
a
it's
port is a wine that's been fortified with brandy, basically, which is distilled wine.
which is why
However,
I
a
misspoke.
true port is made in a certain way, in a certain manner. We have actually made fortified mead on our channel at least once. No, twice. Bourbon Bochet, I think, ended up being fortified. And the Viking blood, the copy, the
Like,
clone.
yeah.
I say blood. It's actually blood still. That was also fortified. So would they qualify as a port? That's a question that's hard to answer because, like I say, a port is a very specific type of fortified wine. So kind of hard for us to actually make a port.
As far as the agave nectar goes, we probably aren't going to touch that because somebody had a bad experience. So
What? I didn't hear that. What?
agave nectar.
I don't like agave nectar. It tastes disgusting.
So
Also, just
with the
for your own edification, I learned this recently. Agave syrup actually has a higher glycemic index than regular sugar. So if you happen to be diabetic or sensitive to high glucose, don't substitute agave nectar thinking it's healthier because it's actually worse. Try the Rhodomel again. Yes, and they weren't actually Kefir lime leaves. They're Rangpur lime leaves, which
Yes.
makes it even worse because nobody actually uses Rangpur lime leaves for freaking anything.
thank you, Tracy.
Yes, awesome. Thank you. Are you going to participate? No.
No. Outer fruit husks.
Walnuts to a wine, kind of like the French Vin. I'm not really familiar with that technique, so I can't really say yes or no. Are we planning on doing more ciders? Yup.
Absolutely.
We do plan on doing more. Sinister thoughts. I learned a thing. What did you learn? Share with the class.
Have a dry Hydrometer that I want to backsweeten fermentable sugar to backsweeten, and then you don't have to worry about whether the yeast is going to continue fermenting because they can't on a non-fermentable sugar.
Right. Where did you even see that?
My thing,
You must be seeing different things than I do.
seeing different things.
Oh, I'm only seeing top.
Derek!
Derek,
Thank you, Derek.
I just switched to live chat. What about anything with any type of peppermint? We had chocolate mint growing, and I think we have mint growing now. So
Yeah.
we're actually thinking of making a mint wine or a mint mead or
Yeah.
maybe even a cider. Who
There
knows?
was mint in our Mojito Kill You
Yes, there was actually. Basic MS24. Should a low ABV traditional that goes dry and primary smell footy and be tart or sour? Will it age out? Okay, a lot of the time, things that are that young are going to be like that. Ciders tend to do that a lot. But yeah, it should age out, but not necessarily. Depends on the recipe. It's really hard to answer that question. Mint mead. Yep, I like the background you guys are using. Looks like you're in a city in Game of Thrones. Yeah, kind of does. I'm not sure what it is. It looks like
It's an alleyway.
it's supposed to be like Morocco or something.
Somewhere.
I just liked it because of the roofs. My only issue with it is it drives me nuts because nothing on here is level or straight. And it, like, if you made them level or straight, it would be really weird.
They're all angled and curved and stuff. And that's the reason why we're using it, because our other one had straight lines.
You should do more live streams. Maybe like 1 hour every Saturday or something. Sure.
We do plan on doing more live streams. This is a test of the emergency live stream system, and it seems like it's doing awesome. So yeah,
Christian Rasmussen. Yes, you are right. Since I put up that video, so many people gave me so much crap about so many things. You are right. There are a lot of cherries in Scandinavia. You guys are actually known for a cherry wine in that region of the world that is exclusive to that region of the world. Not just Scandinavia, though. I think it's actually Norway that brews it. But yes, cherries grow there. Therefore, they could have made Viking blood mead back then.
Derek, a fun fact time. Somebody in my family tree has the last name of Rasmussen. So we could be related.
We need more Derek and Brian show. Well, you're getting it now. How much more do you need?
Right here, right now.
You guys ever use erythritol to backsweeten? No, and here's why. I don't like erythritol.
Hi, Adam. Sorry you're at work.
It sucks I'm at work, so I can't watch this fucking to say hello. Hey, Adam. By the way, Adam, get with me later. I need to make you a mod on here so that you can do what Kenny's doing. Not right now because you're at work, but later.
Yeah.
Anyway, erythritol. Here's the thing with non-fermentable sugars. There's a lot of different types, and I did some research on this because obviously I can't really do sugar anymore. And erythritol did not rank very highly for a consuming thing. There's a lot to it. Now, as soon as I found out a couple bad things, I just said, I'm moving on. Now, is it dangerous? Not necessarily, but it's not quite as pure or safe or unprocessed as, say, stevia or monk fruit. Monk fruit's my favorite sweetener right now, by the way. Stevia in pure form, like when it looks like dried leaves, is good too for certain things. Like in tea, it's wonderful. I don't want to give it away, but we're going to use them in a brew coming up, okay?
We do not use pectic enzyme at all.
No, never. I've never used it. I've never purchased it.
We actually did, if you guys had watched the strawberry jam wine, it was? Yes. We did that on purpose because we assumed it was going to be a muckety muck, and it wasn't.
See you, Benji. Thanks for coming, man.
Yes,
thank you so much for the donation,
thank
too.
you.
Etta, we did give a heads up on this. I put it up, Saturday? In the future, we're thinking of giving more like a week.
Yeah.
I was anxious. And I had new toys coming, and I wanted to do something with it, and I don't like to wait. I'm a very impatient person.
And we knew stateside that it was a holiday, so we were hoping we'd
Otherwise, this would have been tomorrow.
Yeah.
What's in these mugs? Water.
Water. Because we're talking so much, we're thirsty.
And I'm at the point where I should not do alcohol on an empty stomach, and I'm on an empty stomach right now, so that's why I'm not doing it. She was going to have some mead, though.
Yeah.
Carrot mead for cooking. Now, that is something I'm looking into. Sweet potatoes, carrots, things like that. I want to do that. To me, it's actually more like a rice wine, which actually makes it more like a beer because you have to convert the starches into sugars, and then then the sugars get fermented into the wine. So it's really more like a beer, but we're still going to call it wine.
I really want to get my hands on some ramps and make a ramp wine because I have a personal connection to that. My mother's side of the family is from West Virginia. Woohoo! And ramp wine is a big deal there. So I think it would be super cool to make my own ramp wine, but I would be using that for cooking.
I have to address something again. Mr. Bobby Socks. He said, I prefer pectic over the other weird stuff like eggshells, yada, yada. Okay, let me just get this out in the open and be very clear. Everything that you see us do in our videos is all we've done to those brews, okay? We don't add any of that stuff. We don't use clarifying agents of any kind. I would rather drink it a little bit cloudy than have to go and put other junk in there to clear it up. It just, in most cases, it's just a non-issue.
And there's two reasons for that. The first reason is most of that stuff
Celery wine
is kind of
sorry.
icky that we just really don't want to be drinking. And the second thing is that lots
Zephyr
of those
Homestead, yeah.
are going to strip flavor out of your beverage along with making it more clear. So we would rather have a cloudy beverage that tastes really great than a super clear beverage that just kind of tastes meh. So that's why we prioritize what we do.
Yeah. And we're big into trying to keep it as simple and natural as possible. We realize that a lot of our audience are newer brewers or people that either don't have time, don't have the inclination, or just plain don't care to babysit their brews. They want to do it simply and easily. So we try to do...
have a good rest. And oh my goodness, another 12 hours.
Oh my God. Tell them, Brian from City Steading said you don't need to do a 12-hour shift. See if that actually works. I doubt it, but you know, it's worth a shot, right? But I don't have a brother.
Watermelon is an issue.
Now, I know many people have made watermelon wine, and they've had no problem with it. I know people that have made watermelon mead and had less trouble. And I think it's because the watermelon itself is so susceptible to germs getting in there and being infected that it'll almost go off before it starts fermenting. So by combining it with honey, they were able to kind of give it a little bit of that protection, and then the honey started fermenting before the watermelon wine did. So that seemed to work a little bit better. Not something I've really looked into all that much other than anecdotal evidence from others. But it is something we could possibly do someday. Marius Darrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. He did a big thank you and took a bow with a big pear. I thought that's just so
That's
cool.
pretty cool.
I wish I could do stuff like that. How do you guys do it? I don't even know.
We don't know these emojis.
We are neophytes at this
I
YouTube
know.
live thing.
It's embarrassing.
We've done a couple of small shows for like our VIPs and stuff, but we never really did this before. I mean, there's 300 people watching this. Oh my God, 300 people. That means if I make this face, 300 people just saw that.
Oh, somebody looks like you and lives in St. Pete?
Maybe it's me. Maybe I lead a double life. Would I be willing to try anything with prickly pears? Once.
Hard grain brewing.
Okay, Kim H. about the stripping flavors. There's been a lot of talk about this lately, and some people are saying that they really couldn't tell the difference, and other people were saying that they did notice it. I don't know. I've never actually done the test, mostly because we've never used clarifying agents. So it's just not something I care to do.
Everybody wants you to do the face again because they were only listening.
I did it again.
Normally, I'm the silly one.
We demand more of the face.
Rhubarb.
Guys, hit that
I'm
up.
going to be
Not
growing.
Floridian. I'm going to make you a moderator, dude. You're awesome.
Look at all these people.
Bird Alert. Thank you so much. Spirit Wolf 1726. Thank you so much.
Yay.
So are you guys like giving us super chats just because I'm making that face?
I make the face all the time.
I don't even know. Chance again? You're the ones that got me homebrewing.
So
Good,
yeah,
thanks.
strawberry
You're welcome.
rhubarb. Yes, and yes. Why?
Tell them the story.
Because my dad absolutely loves strawberry rhubarb.
Face should be the thumbnail.
And since we couldn't do the peach, we might be able to do the strawberry rhubarb.
Okay, I'm too hot.
I am going to be growing strawberry and rhubarb in the garden, so we'll have fresh grown strawberry rhubarb to use in our fermentation experiment. So yes, it'll be coming.
Night Flight 73. Yes, we actually do pickling on our other channel, CS Homemade and Healthy. We just recently did no sugar and no salt pickles.
Yes.
And we've done jardinero, we've done regular pickles, we've done fermented hot sauce, we've done all kinds of stuff.
The face should be a thumbnail.
I don't know if I could do that as a thumbnail. That's just wrong, man. Metal Bugs, thank you so much. Metal Bugs, I love that. See, you guys get to have like cool and inventive names. I have to be City Steading.
Brian.
Or Brian.
For the face. Thank you, Vince.
Hey, Vince, this is for you. I don't even know what I did anymore, and I'm laughing so much I can't do it. Okay. Oh, I had a question for you guys. Something's been bothering me. I want to get a little bit of an opinion poll here.
Brian has the need to rant.
Yeah, do you see this thing here? I'm thinking of cutting it shorter, like so that maybe, let me see if I can, it looked more like that. What do you think? Because it gets unruly. And as Stacy asked before, look it. See? It just When I wake up in the morning, it's like this. And it just drives me nuts. I feel like one of those old-timey guys, like I should have, one eye and one lens in my eye or something. Braid it. Yeah, see, braiding it's hard. Wow, holy crap, it's gone. No, grow it longer.
No.
Longer, holy crap.
Yeah.
Derek, again. Oh, no. Derek doesn't want me to cut it. I should totally do this. $20 super chat if you want me to cut it. 10 if you don't. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
Derek just gave you $5 not to cut it. So
okay, $5 not to cut it. I guess I won't cut it. I did put beads on it. Somebody made fun of me.
Yeah. See, it's the problem when...
Chris Perrin, thank you so much. Chris Wooten, thank you. Just because it's an odd number. That's awesome.
We try to do...
Yeah, Stacy, there's the tumbleweed for you.
Different things with our appearance because... As many of you know, we were professional wedding photographers for a really, 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 really long time.
Thank you, Fawn, by the way. She said I look handsome and younger with it shorter.
Oh, well, thank you.
Kathy, thank you.
And so...
She's got this weightlifting pair
I know.
icon. That's really cool.
He's keeping it up. So we had to have a certain persona and a certain image as wedding photographers. We couldn't rock the boat, if you would. So... Brian would take out his earrings. We'd make sure our hair was neat and tidy.
Aaron Potter, thank you.
I didn't have the crazy long hair. I had shorter hair.
Okay, Steve Bryn Brews. We don't do that. Emails to ask us questions. Ask questions on the channel. Ask questions right here. That's what it's for. If you want to become a VIP, then you can kind of get a little bit closer. But even our VIPs, we don't really go for the one-on-one thing. As much as we'd love to, we're kind of... busy people, and it's not fair. We have 100,000 subscribers. If I started accepting every email from every single person, we would be so inundated and wouldn't be able to answer anybody. So that's why we just kind of don't do that. But ask questions on the channel. I try to get to the comments as much as I can. What is this? FH, what is that? Black licorice mead. Not gonna happen.
Neither one of us really
We don't like it.
licorice, so I'm probably not.
The thing is, there's some things that we just won't make because I don't like them, or she doesn't like them, or we're just not gonna like. We know we'll never drink it, so why make it?
Because if we make it, we gotta drink it.
Courtney, I'm with you. I want it to be pointier. And do I also like to play with my beer? I sit there and I do this all too long. That's all I do now. That's
kind of nuts because he used to never do that. So I'm not really sure where that came from. I think it's when he started to try to groom it and oil it and try to make it look nice that he just got used to that tactile.
Fawn, if you're not sure about your numbers, you're a VIP still. Send me the stuff in the VIP and let me see if I can figure it out for you. It sounds like you could have been there.
Mead from Candy has been done on lots of other channels, and because that's really not a natural ingredient, it's just kind of this weird Franken ingredient, we really aren't that interested in doing it, to be honest.
My rule on stuff like that is if I'm not going to eat something on its own, I'm not going to brew with it. And I don't eat candy.
Now, that said, a candy flavor inspired me.
That's different.
Where we might take the flavor profile of a candy and use natural ingredients to create that flavor profile in a mead. Sure, no problem.
Too funny. I've been tugging my beard this whole time. It just happens.
I don't
Chris Perrin, you're my new best friend. He just said, no, black licorice. Ew, no thanks.
I want Brian to feel free to express himself in his own way. If he has a beard, awesome.
Oh, yeah, she doesn't really
If he doesn't have a beard, that's fine too. If he wants to shave his head, cool man. If he wants to grow it all the way down to the floor, all right. I'll just have to vacuum more.
Got to be glued stuff?
So
I want to stab myself when I look down now. By the way, what I'm doing with this up here, I don't know if anybody knows, but I'm doing the Ragnar.
Yeah, he's going for the Ragnar.
We're growing this, and it's going to go like down to the middle of my back, and she's going to braid it. Going for the Ragnar look.
Root beer wine.
Nova Scotia homesteading. Sorry, that was my cat. What did your cat do?
Probably typed something bizarre.
Oh.
Cats do that. It's okay. We got 7.
Oh,
it's
okay. I get it now. I was like, what? I'm not likely to dye my hair weird colors. I did a bleached blonde thing for a while. I looked a little bit more like Billy Idol, but I don't know if I could go colors. She's more likely to do colors than me.
I have had my hair nearly every color.
Okay, would I add more than 5 grams of champagne yeast to 7.5 grams of mead, gallons of mead, ferment? It's a week in, help, LOL. Okay, hold on. Would you add more than 5 grams of champagne to 7.5? No, you don't need more than that. That's like a whole packet. No, don't worry about it. My friend is having a Viking themed wedding, so I'm wearing the Ragnar look too. Funny enough, the Ragnar look really isn't a Viking look. They didn't actually do it. It's just a thing.
His necklace is two-sided. The side right now is the Vaknot, and on
you know what? Let me.
The back is.
Here.
I don't know what that one's called. Sorry.
Hold on. Balknut is one.
Yeah.
I'm moving this up. Here, I'll show you. Here's a close-up. Ooh! There's one side. There's the other side.
We got those made at the medieval fair.
The Ren Fair.
Yeah, there's this really cool, like, press thing. What is it called? It's,
I forget what it's called.
It's one of the scientists, one of the, like, Leonardo or somebody.
Yeah, somebody really famous invented this thing, and it's like this heavy weight that comes down and stamps it into.
And so they have this little tiny
it's solid
thing,
silver.
and then they crank this thing up, and it goes go, and it impresses the necklace.
Yeah, and it's really heavy. Like, it makes a thump. Listen. I don't know if you can hear
I don't think
that.
it's working. Yeah, it's thumping against your shirt, so you got.
That's how we do it in television, you know. Lingonberry wine. I would totally do lingonberry wine.
Yeah.
All Wise Mead. We don't really buy a lot of commercial mead. The only commercial mead we drink is stuff that, like, Two Warriors sends us.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if a commercial meadery sends us stuff to try, we'll drink that.
Yeah. Of course, we've had
Buffy, should you throw away your sour mead? Need more information than just sour mead, because it could be a lot of things. Could be dry. There's a lot of stuff.
Sure.
Ask that on the channel, though. That might require a little bit more of an in-depth. Just say, hey, you asked me to put this here. And that way I'll see it. No,
There's also times where sour
Christian Cock, I've never done a Tapachi. I've never had it.
is just a flavor, and there's some times where something has soured, and that means it's gone bad, but there's going to be other evidence of that rather than just the flavor.
Yeah, a lot of people say sour when they actually mean dry. It might just not be sweet, and they think it's sour. Because that happens even to me. I'm like, oh, this just kind of tastes wrong. But it's just because it's really dry.
As far as my first wine video, that's pretty much our simple...
Triquetra, Brandon Cologne. Yeah, it's Triquetra is the name of it.
Yeah. Our simple wine. What is the name of the wine?
What wine?
Somebody was asking for a my first wine video, but our simple wine...
We did it. We have 2. And somebody just said, can you do a vid of the basic you need to get started to do your own mead? We did that. We have Make Your First Mead. Look it up on YouTube. Make Your First Mead. It's the first video. But the wine is the same thing. We did how to make wine from grape juice at home, just a basic one. And then we did another one just recently, too.
And if your question is on what equipment you need to get started, we did an equipment video as well.
Alicia, I am so sorry. There's so many comments. Ask again, please. Don't give up. Don't give up. I'm watching for it. I'm waiting just for Alicia.
Baklava mead. That sounds good.
Baklava, yeah, I would do that. Cheap red wine. What did she ask, though? What did she ask? I need to know the question.
Cheap red wine, Bri.
Yeah, I know. Cheap red wine. What?
That's the name of the first red wine, right? The first wine.
Kibaruzo. We're working on a D&D channel, but yeah. I have a raspberry mead going 3 weeks. When I remove the berries, it will end up with headspace, but I only have 1 gallon fermenter device. Add liquid to continue with primary. How do I mount that? Okay.
You can use glass marbles.
We got you, Alicia.
Because being glass, you can sanitize them, so you don't have to worry about adding something bad to your brew. But in putting them
She asked it again.
in your container, it depends on what kind of mouth you have in your container. If you have a wider mouth on your container, then you can put those marbles in like a little brew bag and sanitize that as well before you put it in, and that way you can slowly drop it down and you'll know what your displacement is, so how many marbles you need to add without worrying about an issue. And also, by able to slowly dropping it down, you don't have to drop marbles into a glass container and perhaps shatter it. So that would be my suggestion on that. And that's what we use sometimes when we have a oops moment and we need to work on the headspace. But honestly, we don't do it very often. It's if there's a very considerable amount of headspace, do we even really worry about it? We've gone below that
Chris, thank
curve
you.
part that Brian always is pointing out before. And if it's just below that, we don't really worry about it.
Chris, if your 6-month-old mead smells like a perm, you've done something very wrong. My mom was a hairdresser. I know what perms smell like, and that's wrong.
God.
I'm thinking that's vinegar, but not necessarily. But Chris, you're a VIP too, so I hate to push you off, but I want to help you with that. Talk to me in the VIP. Let me see if we can figure that out for you.
So, Alicia, I hope that answered your question. The glass marbles are...
Okay. There's the lead in marbles. That's not something I'm familiar with.
Old marbles, some of them do have lead based on the colors that they use to infuse in the glass. We're talking about just modern, clear marbles. I believe you can even buy them at brew supply stores. They're just glass balls, basically, used as a way to change the volume of a fermenter.
Chancera, Star Sand on plastic, short-term cons. Short-term shouldn't be a problem. Like if you just dip them for 5 or 10 minutes, shouldn't be a problem. We've found like some of the tubing gets a little bit slimy if you leave it in there too long, like a couple hours. I don't leave plastic in it at all if we can avoid it. No more than, to film a video. That's about it.
I find it hard to believe that the tannin level is what gives you a hangover, as that's the tartness that you get in tea, and tea doesn't give you hangovers, so I don't know why that being in the wine would give you a hangover. I think more often than not, the reason why people get hangovers is because of dehydration. You really need to hydrate really well after drinking any alcohol, and the more alcohol you drink, the more you need to rehydrate. And by that, I mean water, just pure
Chance, that
water.
sounds like a personal problem. Sorry.
Because it's going to... What the alcohol is doing to your body is it's
Yes, this is Tigger.
sucking out. Yeah, we're gonna hear that because Dad has to go around the front to.
Yeah, we have cameras all over the house. I know everything that goes on outside. You're leaving us? Oh, she left.
Yeah,
that was Tigger.
And like you said, there's different types of residual elements that are in the alcohol itself, and different research has shown that different things react differently to different people. So, to give a straight answer of what will exactly give you a hangover, I can't do that.
Okay, Bagator is asking how close is mead making and wine making. They're actually like very similar. They're almost the same thing. The main difference is wine is based on sugars, fructose and glucose from a fruit source, whereas mead is based on honey from honey.
We don't put the mead under Brian's desk anymore because he ran out of footroom. So that leads us to our first show and tell.
Can I show you?
Time.
Yeah, I think I can do it. Show and tell time? What are we, in kindergarten here? Come on.
I was trying to think of
yeah, that was just weird.
Okay, sorry. Brian took a picture of our new fermentation area where we keep our fermentations.
Kenny's been messaging me the whole time. I'm so sorry, Kenny. I didn't see him, man. I turned notifications off.
So Brian is going to work on showing you that right now.
Yeah, you keep talking.
But the studio here is our kitchen. Many of you, particularly if you're in the VIP, know that this is our kitchen, and we just completely transfer it into our studio space, so that way we have a stable area where we can control the environment, so that way we look more professional. But if you go towards the camera and through the doorway to the left over there, that is our storage utility cat room. It's a huge space, and we have tons of, and by huge, in relation to our under 1,000 foot square foot house, it's huge. It's just another room. but we have lots of storage shelves in there. And so the one right closest to the door, we took the whole top section of that storage shelf and we turned that into where we keep our fermentation. So that way it's elevated, so no cats. And Brian made this impromptu little door thing so that it keeps light or anything out. Because as you know, when you're fermenting, sunlight is bad. It's bad, okay? And cat hair is bad. And there is the picture. So you can see, not only are we storing our fermentations in there, you can see the labels on the fermentations, but we're also storing our empty fermenters in there right now because we're in the process of starting a whole new slew of new brews. So we have some empty fermentation vessels stored in there as well. But that whole space is all blocked off.
Yeah, many of them are empty because they've been pulled out to get racked and whatnot for videos.
So we used to have an elaborate setup in there because...
That's not sunlight.
A portion of that was used for a hydroponics test. That failed. But now it's just cardboarded off
fermentation station, exactly.
For the fermentation.
All right, I'm shutting this off now.
The temperature in there would probably be
it's about 74, 75 degrees pretty much all the time.
Yeah, and that's
Fahrenheit.
That's Fahrenheit.
I'm not editing this, so I don't know what the Celsius is, but somebody probably knows. Kenny?
Kenny might be able to look it up for us because he's really nice.
That is not what I want either. That weird thing up there. Pay no attention to the thing up in the corner. All right, sorry. I just started using this software yesterday. Just saying. Oh, my hair's going all over the place.
Yeah, we have a shed out back, but I think it would get way too hot in there in the Florida sun to keep our fermentations in there. So that's why we like to keep them inside our house.
You want to keep it cooler. If it gets over like 85, that's when you get some off flavors. You might get more fusels formed. It's a good idea to keep it cooler. If you absolutely cannot keep it cooler, invest in large tubs, keep them filled with water, and put your fermenter right in there. Wrap it in a wet towel. Let that towel touch the water. It'll keep it at least 5 to 10 degrees cooler.
If you mean Instagram, we do have Instagram accounts. We have a City Steading Instagram. Yeah. We have a Derica at City Steading Instagram, and we have a Brian at City.
I don't use that one. I use the regular City Steading Instagram.
My Instagram, the Derica one, is mostly garden pics. The City Steading one has brews, has food, has garden, has cats, has us being crazy. It has everything on it.
Yeah, I've been posting a lot of food lately on
Mike.
The regular Instagram. Hey, Mike. Spike Love. He rents a 2-bedroom apartment. The second bedroom is a brewery and distillery. I don't want to know about the distillery part unless it's legal where you are, but the brewery part is kind of cool. I wish we had a whole room that we could make a brewery.
And GM Scott, your basement, I actually wish we had a basement because that would be ideal.
65 is a little on the cool side, but Scott, you know that already.
And there's some yeasts that actually do fine in the colder temperatures, and you can totally augment your brew space to change the temperature. There's wraps and stuff that you can get to keep your fermenters at whatever temperature you want.
Okay, 2 questions. Derek asked about light and no light make a comparison batch, and somebody asked about kombucha versus kefir. So Derek and R. Okay, Derek first. I don't like to do comparisons where there's a chance that something could be ruined in the test. I'd rather do tests of things like, okay, which is better? Because we already know that light can harm a batch. Like somebody asked me, they want me to do one where I don't sanitize anything and one where we sanitize everything. And they want to know how different it would taste. Well, it wouldn't necessarily taste different every time. Just like light won't necessarily hurt it every time. But when it does, it's ruined. There's no coming back. It's done. It's going to have really funky flavors. The yeast are dead. And it's a waste. I don't like to do that. You probably know where I'm coming from here because you know me well enough to know that. R, his question was what?
Kombucha versus kefir.
Okay. Why? Because kombucha is more mainstream. Honestly, and because everybody bugged me to make it. Oh my God, people asked me for years, and I was like, "It's gross. I hate it." No,
we've done kefir videos.
we did kefir. Yeah, we did milk kefir and water kefir both. I believe they're still on the channel.
We still have starfruit in the freezer from when we had a giant, very productive starfruit tree. Brian hates starfruit.
I don't like starfruit.
So we will
So
not
we no longer have the tree.
fermenting with starfruit.
Alicia, we actually took the damn tree down because it was just dropping fruit and we weren't eating it.
It was
and
really
I don't
sad.
Like
it was a beautiful tree. It was doing wonderful.
I tried brewing with it once, and it was absolutely abhorrently disgusting. That said, I didn't follow a recipe. I guessed at everything, and it was not good.
As far as a colder temperature affecting a brew, it's going to slow things down. The yeasts are going to get kind of bogged down and sleepy, if you will. They might completely stop fermenting depending on what their tolerance for temperature range is. They won't die. They'll just not really keep up to speed.
Okay, I'm a kid. Please tell me you're not a kid first. We should have puppets made of ourselves and then make videos. That's funny.
That would be fun.
I actually wanted to do that one time. Just a bloke. Starfruit taste of washing up liquid. Yeah, actually. Not far off. It's very mild. Doesn't have much flavor, honestly.
Well, we replaced the starfruit with an elderberry, so...
Yeah, elderberry. Now we're talking.
There you go.
Christopher Gadsden, that's a good way to get booted from a chat.
No, he's talking...
Oh. Well, it comes out like I'm a kid,
I know.
Never mind.
Pay no attention to
I'm
the
just
man
joking
behind
anyway.
the screen.
Wait, you're a what?
Puppets would be fun. Somebody make us puppets! If you are a puppet maker.
Here we go, gaining. I'll ask
Brian and
questions.
Derek
Guys,
puppets.
please answer. Hello, I do kits and a noob at brewing. Thanks to you guys, I learned to read a hydrometer. Should I try grains or stick to what I know for the time? Okay, you're talking about beer, obviously. I have done 2 beer kits in my entire life. My first beer ever was all grain. The difference is, one comes in a can and someone else did this thing and they evaporated it down and it's all sticky and goopy and who knows what else they put in there. And the other one, I'm using grains and putting it... I sound like George Carlin. I'm going home. And the other one, you're just boiling grains and starting it up. I mean, it's no big deal. Don't think you need $20,000 worth of gear to make beer. The first time I ever made an all-grain beer, it was using just our regular stock pot, a strainer bag, and a fermenter. I didn't have anything fancy. I just let it cool in my bathtub.
Yeah,
I
in the
still do
bathtub.
it that way.
Yeah.
I don't have one of those circulator cooler things. I'm a cheap guy. We make beer like twice a year. It's just not something. And now I'm going to be making less because the starches and carbohydrates in it are not good for me. So I'd rather make a low ABV cider or hydromel or mead than a beer. So expect more of that.
As we said before, peach is our nemesis. We are
Bob Ross vibes.
still going to try to make a peach something. And when we conquer peach, we will definitely share it with you. As far as mango goes, Brian really doesn't like mangoes.
Okay, Steve Bryn Brews. Is it harder?
Probably won't.
Is it harder to do all grain than from liquid or whatever? Well, yeah, but harder? I don't know if it's harder. It just takes longer. You have to spend more time because now you have to mash those grains to get the starches out to convert those starches into sugars. Whereas with LME, you just pour it and you're done. So it's not harder, it just takes longer. There's more involved. So I guess that would mean harder. It's more complicated, but it's not harder.
What are your thoughts on kiwi?
I don't really have thought. I don't think about kiwi.
Somebody wanted to know if you were interested in or had thought about making a kiwi brew.
I've been asked a few times, and I always go, why? I've had kiwi a couple times and gone, it's okay. It's not, I don't know. Seems like a flavor that would get lost with honey or other things.
A maybe.
It's not a no.
It's a maybe.
Peach ginger mead. See, there we go again with the peach. Peach is my nemesis.
But that sounds yummy, if it would work.
Mr. Bobby Socks, kiwi brews are difficult. See, now you're just trying to get me to do it.
See?
I don't actually make lemon wines. And I don't make a lot of citrus because it requires a lot of aging. So that's why we don't do a lot, because we try to aim on things that people can make relatively quickly that can taste relatively good relatively soon. Peach in secondary because it's volatile if you want it in a mead, but
Cranberry and pomegranate sounds delicious. I hope that works out
actually,
really
cranberry
good for
and pomegranate does sound really good. Look at this. I put this in front of her so she can read that one. She's looking at mine.
Well, I feel like I'm up more if I'm looking at yours rather than looking at mine, but it's.
I'm allergic to kiwi. Okay, well then you probably should not brew with kiwi if you're allergic to it. Derek.
Thank you, Derek.
Fresh plant city strawberries for a wine this season. I have a
Yep.
ton frozen PC strawberries right now, and I might wait to. The problem with doing that is if the pandemic's still going on, we're not likely to go there and do it because I don't want to run into other people.
Yeah, well, I'm growing strawberries this year.
And we're growing strawberries anyway.
So it's cool. He has strawberries, so he was just asking.
Yeah, I like the idea of making a strawberry wine. I really do. Honestly, it's not all that different from our strawberry jam wine now. The way I would do it.
Yeah.
You just have to remember there's less sugars in the strawberries than there would be in the jam, so you just make up for it.
Yes, Kenny. I do want all the things.
I'm usually the one that wants all the things. Could you do a walkthrough for all grain? I want to try a stout, hence why I'm asking. Steve, we've done a porter. I did we've done 3 or 4. Do a search on our channel. Go to the channel page and hit the search icon and search for beer. We've done, the porter is all grain.
Yeah.
I did another one too. We did barley wine. We've done 3 at least, I think, maybe 4. You want to freeze the strawberries beforehand, I'd assume. Oh, yeah. Yeah, generally with any fruit, I want to freeze it first. What?
Spicy pineapple. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, spicy pineapple sounds good.
The next capsicum ale I want to make is a pineapple capsicum ale, so yes.
This is a good question. Tromer 3. How long do you let your honey sit after backsweeting, or do you bottle immediately? We tend to let it sit. I like it to meld and make sure that it's not going to fall out of suspension. I want to make sure it was mixed up. We do make legit labels, Chance. My masking tape and Sharpie skills are,
There, right
but anyway,
there.
yeah.
There's my legit.
And if you want to see a legit, all right, let me show you a couple.
So.
Just hold on. I'm going to put the other can. Oh, yeah, they're going to see it.
He's going to be fancy.
They want to see it. I'm going to show them. None of this, screwing around
He's
stuff.
dusted though.
We have cats, people. All right.
So we're going to show you our legit labels so that way you know we actually did real labels, not just the tape. But
we made this up to give to Savvy and Ben, and they gave it back to us after they drank it.
But
there's one.
It's so much easier just to put some tape on it and write on it.
Well, when you drink them fast enough, the label doesn't really matter anymore. And then there's this one. See it? See it?
Thank you.
So see, we got skills.
And this is my favorite because reasons.
Can you see that one?
Yeah, the one was runes. It's supposed to be a rune for friendship. I tried re-looking it up to confirm that, and I wasn't really getting
oh, really?
the right
So
information.
it might be saying something really nasty.
It
We
might
don't
be
know.
friendship. It might not be. I don't know. Thank you.
Wait, what?
Apple mead. Yum. Sorry.
Yeah, I want to do. We're going to do a Cider again soon, but there's another name for it. It's a French thing. Somebody wanted me to do it. I forget. What is the name of the French mead thing? It's apples and honey. And N. Henderson, no, I have not yet. That is something that someone reminded me I should do.
I'm glad you like my names. Thank you.
Did you come up with the names, or did I come up with the names?
All 3 of those names are mine.
Are you sure about that?
I'm sure about that.
All right. Aperitif. Half our meads could probably be described as an aperitif.
Oh, my mead.
That's right. There's a specific kind of mead that they make. Chuchin! That's it. Thank you, Mike. There's a specific kind of mead, Medjool date wine. We did that already. Nunya, we did Medjool date wine.
Yeah. I'm
Like
actually growing
2 months ago.
I'm growing the date pits now. I have little baby palm trees.
But yeah, the chuchin is actually an interesting method for making essentially a sizer, but it really isn't. It's two different brews put together in a way. And I actually am planning to do that. So that's something that's going to be coming up. What about muscadine? We just made tons of muscadine concentrate. So we will be making a muscadine wine from that concentrate at some point.
D&D themed brews. We did the Fey wine already. We have some other notes on other D&D based brews that we plan on doing whenever we get around to it.
If I was doing blood orange in secondary, it could be either one. Actually, I wouldn't put whole oranges in anything, really. I mean, I know I've done it, but I probably wouldn't. I don't like the pith. I might use zest and juice. Paw wine? Define?
It's a fruit that grows.
Oh, a fruit. I don't know anything about them.
Okay, Han. Good night.
Bye.
You've been up too late.
5 a.m. Why are you still here? Go away. Go home. Go home. Who's that? Who does that?
It's Tracy Ullman.
Shh. You're supposed to make them guess. It's called interaction. We want them to interact with us.
Don't listen to me. Or listen to me and answer anyway.
Peach ginger does sound good. Yeah. Pa? Doing a Meha. What? Oh. How often do I browse our mead? I don't. They hate us there. I don't go there.
Yeah, we know that there's quite a lot of people who despise us, and we used to try to figure out why, and we used to try to integrate and try to distill some of the mistruths that are spoken about us, and it depressed us, and it was pretty much a waste of our time. So
when they have as many people watching as we do, then we'll worry about it.
We're not going to go there.
It's true. I'm joking, but it is true.
Okay,
we have more people that like
all of Reddit.
No, our mead in Reddit.
Okay.
We have more people.
Just saying.
I don't know. There's a lot of people who are going to hate you pretty much no matter what you do, and I always look at it like this: if no one hates the way you're doing things, you're not taking any chances, you're not taking a risk, and you're not doing something worthwhile.
So John Ferguson is talking about vanilla. And he's looking to do a pear vanilla wine. It would want us to know if it would be better to add vanilla bean or extract, and also would he add it in primary or conditioning?
Vanilla, that's a tough one, because if you use extract, if you're going to use extract, don't put it in primary, only put it in secondary. But the bean itself, if you put it in primary, be ready to pull that sucker out as soon as it starts to over extract.
If you watched our cherry chocolate mead, we did a vanilla version of that.
Thank you, March Hare.
And I believe it was added in secondary, and the vanilla really just took over that mead, and it was a little
over extracted.
It was a little disappointing. So I would be very careful with the vanilla. It's a great flavor, but be careful with it.
Okay. Chance, do you know why I won't use pea blossom in a mead? Because everybody else does. As soon as everybody stops using it, I might do something with it. Derek is talking about growing it, though.
I'm going to grow it. I'm going to make it happen.
Somebody else asked a question I can't think of. Aaron, thanks so much for coming.
You.
Sorry you have to go. How long have we... We've been going for an hour and a half already. Are you serious? It feels like 20 minutes.
No wonder I'm out of water. I'm going to get some more water.
How would I consider balancing with a spruce mead? That's a good call, because different spruces are going to have different types of astringencies. If it's been a really cold winter, as I understand it, they become a little sweeter. If it's been a warmer winter, they're not as sweet and they're more bitter. So it really would come down to that. But I really want to do something with spruce. The problem is they don't grow here.
I think extracting the vanilla first and then adding that once the brew is finished might be the easiest way to go, because then you could very carefully add very small increments of the vanilla until you got the flavor profile.
Yeah, you know what you need to have? You need some of that Viking blood.
I need Viking blood?
Yeah, Derica needs to drink mead, doesn't she?
Why?
Because somebody said you should.
Who said I should drink?
Go get some mead. Christopher Gadsden said, go get some mead.
Go get some mead.
Bad boy, no 100K special video. Actually, we are waiting until we actually get the play button.
Yeah, we want the actual physical thing so we can go, yeah!
And then we're going to do...
And I have notes. I've been taking notes.
Can I tell them no? Because they don't know.
All right.
Only the VIPs know. All right, while she goes to get mead, I'm going to take over. Okay, welcome to the Brian Show. Anyway, what we're going to do for our 100K special is we're going to unbox our play button, which is kind of lame, but everybody does it, and it's cool for us, okay? Hopefully some of you like it. But we're also going through our old videos at the suggestion of some of our VIPs, and we're picking out your favorite pieces and clips and funny moments and, you know, like the evolution of my hair and things like that, and we're making a compilation video of all that stuff to go along with it. So, yeah, we're making something. Jacob Elder, thank you so much. Boss is looking at me kind of weird. Oh, sorry, man. Please don't get in trouble on our account. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for the donation. We appreciate it. And now back to your regular scheduled program. C. Anderson Crow, thank you so much. Yeah, we if someone had told us 3 years ago that in 2 months you're going to start a YouTube channel, and within 3 years you're going to hit 100,000 subscribers, I would have laughed my ass off because there's just no way.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
We actually started the channel on March 2nd of 2018. So, Brandon Bachwinkle, do you already have an episode, or could you make an episode on identifying the types of bad things that can grow during fermentation? We actually don't have one, and it would be difficult for us to make one because most of the bad things that happen, we don't have happen. And I don't want to ruin a brew just to make a video like that. But thank you for the donation, and I like the concept. It's just very difficult to do a video like that. I could try to find pictures. And she is drinking our Viking Blood clone.
Circa
Oh, God.
2019.
Yeah, it's old. It's like 2 years old now. FH, thank you so much. I want to make some Christmas-themed meads. What 3 flavors would you recommend? For Christmas? Honestly, my spiced metheglin. Don't even go 3 flavors. Just make my spiced metheglin. It's perfect for any time of year, but it's especially good at Christmas.
Yeah, any of those spices that you can think of that remind you of Christmas. And I think part of this is that everybody has their own concept in their head, their own triggers that remind them and bring them back to a special moment that they shared with their friends and family. So if you have...
Don't let 100K go to your head?
It's
okay.
It's not likely
It's not.
to happen, but thank you for the warning. So if you have a specific spice that you remember, like
Reese's
from
Cup
gingerbread or from a carrot cake or
Ooh, carrot cake.
or maybe whatever roast was being made that really reminds you of Christmas, then that's what you should use in your Christmas mead because it'll be special to you and it'll evoke those memories for you.
How many times did Brian have to wash his sticky hands? Should be good in the 100K. Oh my God, I washed my hands like 10 times a video. People have accused me like, oh, his hands probably... I'm like, dude, you don't see it. I cut it. Because how fun would it be to watch me go, okay, gotta wash my hands, and like, get up and go over and wash my hands and come back.
Stop. So he can get up, wash his hands, come back, and then we're like, okay, and we're back. Eggnog.
We actually did eggnog.
We did that. Yum.
Mm-hmm. Beet mead wine. Got to roast them. Yeah, you actually want to convert the starches to sugars too. Stuart Simmons, you are welcome. Thank you for watching. Yes. Matthew Alton, thank you. Mint mead. I grow tons of peppermint and spearmint. We have mint growing right now, and we are planning to do it. But if you watch the Mojito Kill You video, that actually used mint in it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it can give you an idea.
It's not a mead, obviously.
It takes forever to extract, and it looks weird while it's in there.
Yeah.
Just so you're aware, if you do it before we make a video.
Yeah, so if you try it on your own before we do a specific mint mead, and you see weird things, like if you put the whole mint in and you see weird things, it's just the yeast, so don't worry about it. James
McAllister, first, please don't. He wants to send us a homebrew to try. Please don't. We love you guys. However, there's a lot of people out there that might not be as trustworthy as you guys, and we can't know the difference. So I don't really want somebody sending me something that could harm us. So that's why we don't accept homebrew from non-commercial makers. Plus, it's illegal for you to ship it. So please don't take the chance. And someone else does another question. It's gone now.
There was a.
It was just before that. Oh, I can scroll. Oh my God.
The banana wine was amazing. It's just a really weird process.
Christopher Gadsden, show us your cool cups and favorite drinking horns. Okay, you've pretty much seen all of my cool ones.
Yeah.
And I don't like drinking horns.
We have a drinking horn sitting over there, but
I can't reach it from here, though.
When you drink from a drinking horn, it tends to
spill all over the place. It
curvature,
splashes up into my face. I guess I'm just not coordinated enough to drink from a mead horn. But yeah, I don't usually drink from them. Adam makes fun of me. Adam, one of our mods, has a collection of them. Mm-hmm. What's the optimal temperature for making mead? There is no such thing. Okay, every yeast is different, but for our purposes, it seems like 70 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit is pretty optimal. Tromer 3, yeah, this to Kyle Crazy. Yeah, the spiciness does fade after some time, and it mellows and melds nicely. Point down the drinking horn. I did up, down, sideways, you name it, Sarah. It didn't really matter. The stupid thing spit at me no matter which way I did it.
Kenny has drinking horns too. How many drinking horns do you have, Kenny? Because Adam
has like 27 drinking horns.
He doesn't have 27.
Okay, he has 42. Okay, somebody said their mead has been turning sour. Is that due to oxygen or something else? Turning sour, that's Cameron B. Fox. Turning sour could be Brettanomyces, and it's possible that you have an infection of it that is in your gear. I would boil the heck out of everything, clean and sanitize everything real good. Because if you're getting it multiple times, that's probably what it is. Or wherever you're storing them is infected with it. It sucks because it's hard to get rid of once you have something like that happen. And Bretts are strong because they feast on stuff that's already fermented. So yeah, they're pretty strong.
Thank you, Zephyr.
What is this? Okay. Chocolate Boucher. Yeah, Bouchers are cool. We've had a couple of problems with them. They seem to overdo it. And I'm not sure that the over caramelization is something we like. Cameron B. Fox. Yes. Brettanomyces is a bacteria. And it literally is what they use to make sour beers and sour ciders.
Okay. I know a lot of people like the chocolate orange combo. I think it's really big in the UK.
Face for you.
However, the Brerica, as we've been called before, does not like the chocolate orange combination, so we will not be doing that.
I have a face.
I'm sorry.
There we go. New face for you.
Sarsaparilla. Okay, that was the comment that came up that I was like, we should talk about that. Sarsaparilla Mead. Could we do a Sarsaparilla Mead?
The problem is sarsaparilla is actually like
toxic.
It's illegal to get now. You can get the flavoring, but the actual sarsaparilla root, I think somebody called it a hallucinogen or something.
Yeah.
Said you can't use it anymore, even though it's really not.
So,
an ape pie mead? Brian Blackwell, I have serious concerns. What's an ape pie? Do you mean apple pie? I hope you mean apple pie.
Okay, I need to look at poisonous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
John Ferguson, if you're getting it from Amazon that way, it's not real sarsaparilla because it's toxic. Chris Perrin, thank you.
Ooh, a chocolate capsicum ale. I have not considered a chocolate capsicum ale. I have no idea why I haven't considered a chocolate capsicum ale.
I could go for that.
Because I really love the spiced chocolate, hot chocolate, like the Mexican style hot chocolate that has all the chilies and stuff in it. That's like super yummy. So
it's best to be not too different with your temperature. You don't want it to be hot one day and cold the next. That could harm the yeast. They tend to bounce back pretty good, but you want to keep it more or less consistent if you can. It will shift through nights and days, though. Yeah.
I believe wormwood is also toxic too. So yeah, we won't be doing that.
Yeah.
Yes, the Hibiscus Mead, before we added all the other stuff to it before to make the Viking Bud clone, was absolutely delicious. So if you have not made a Hibiscus Mead before, I highly recommend you doing it because it's super yummy.
Yeah, Chip, I agree with you. Concentrated, it's toxic. The problem is you're not getting real sarsaparilla if you try buying it, because it's one of those things that they've stopped selling the real thing. You may be able to find like a knockoff kind of plant, something that tastes like it, but it's not going to be the real thing. Like any cinnamon that you buy in the U.S. is probably not really cinnamon. Just, you knew that, right? Right?
Yes, all the things. All the things.
What recipe did... Oh, he's asking somebody else.
Yep.
Um,
Yes, we did a cherry chocolate mead. Go to the website and the little... if you go to the main channel page, there's a little looking glass icon. You click on that. That's the search option, and you can find all the ridiculous amounts of things that we have already made for you.
Charles Comer, your thoughts on turbo or industrial grade yeasts? In most cases, they're not worth it. They're going to make the brew happen so fast and so powerful, and really all they are is just yeast that are bred to go more quickly, and they have nutrients
Do you have
added.
your phone?
Yeah. They are meant...
If you can put the chat up there. You can...
I'm about to mute. Oh, okay.
Yes, I have tried braiding my hair. It is very difficult to French braid one's own hair, particularly when they are as lacking in the hair braiding technique as I am. But I did do a pseudo Lagatha look for... What was it for?
You did it
Was
for
it an
a
event?
VIP thing that we did.
Oh, okay. It was for the VIP. So I'm going to try to do it again. I keep saying that Brian should learn how to French braid so he could do it for me
suck
because
at
that
it.
would be easier. He's not really interested.
Alicia, it's not that I'm not interested. I don't have patience. And my fingers don't work quite as well as I would like, so I get frustrated and it irritates me.
So I will continue to try to braid my own hair.
Squish face of yarn. Clear your browser history before handing it to her. No, she can look at anything that's on my phone. It's all good. Stacy on Zoom, yeah. Just so you guys know, if you've ever thought about becoming a VIP, I'm going to do a little bit of a commercial here because we're an hour and 44 minutes in. If you're still watching, you're kind of, you like us. So the VIP Club is not just a group on Facebook. What we actually do, and we're going to start doing more of it because it's a little easier now.
Motion detected at the carport.
Okay, that's Terry moving around. We do live shows for our VIPs, but we do them on Zoom. So it's not really us talking to this blank screen. It's us talking to you and you talking back. So there's one-on-one. Derek has been there. Kenny has been there. Paul, Stacy, Adam, Mike West has been in on them.
Yep.
We do those that way on purpose because it gives those VIPs that extra little bit of interaction, and we pay for Zoom just for that purpose to be able to do that.
We probably will be doing a sweet potato mead as soon as I can get my hands on sweet
Actually,
potato
we're doing one
slips.
Friday, not sweet potato, the Zoom thing.
The cinnamon roll mead sounds absolutely nuts, so
Yep,
crazy,
Benji was there too.
fantastic. So yes, that we will try to do. I am really disappointed in all the disappointments that I've had in my life. I'm really disappointed that Brian perfected the cinnamon roll baking technique.
See you, David.
Right before he was diagnosed with diabetes, so we couldn't have it ever again. So if we could
Yep, Chris,
create
I did.
something
That's
like that in mead form that had enough of the bad sugars fermented out, and perhaps we backsweetened it with the good sugars that don't destroy Brian's glucose levels.
I'll work on it.
That would be wonderful.
Edda asked if there's other options than PayPal to use the VIP. No, because PayPal, we have a business account, and that was our credit card processing for our other business, and I just switched it over to City Steading. It's just processing your credit card. We actually handle everything. PayPal is just taking your card and putting the money to us. They're not doing anything else. So any people that have worries about PayPal, don't. We're actually the ones that are managing all of that. So, Edda, if you're concerned, don't worry about it. You can reach me directly.
Hi, Christy from the West Coast. Are you in California? Because I live there too.
Christian, thank you. That'd be awesome. I look forward to it. Just go to the page and let us know. Kenny, can you throw up that link for me?
He's been throwing up links, so...
Yeah, we'll throw it up for the VIP.
VIP.
Brenda, no, I did not post the cinnamon roll recipe because, like she said, I pretty much just got it figured out and then found out that I had diabetes and hypertension, and I was sick for almost,
I thought
2
we
weeks?
did a cinnamon roll.
Oh, no, that's right. We did a cinnamon roll.
Yeah, we have not removed any
on-
of the bad
yeah.
foods from H&H.
It's on the H&H channel. That's right. We did do the video.
Yeah. So go to H&H,
Motion detected.
search on the channel, the little search icon, cinnamon rolls, and it's
Spike
surprising.
explained a bit more.
It's surprisingly easy, and they are so good.
Albon, the VIP subscription is monthly. That way you can quit anytime you want.
The cats have been fermented. No, they haven't. We actually had a Tigger sighting. The people who have been here the whole time can
You want to
contest
go
that
see if you can grab
there's a
any of
Tigger.
them?
Who do you want to see? You want to see Thor, don't you? I know you want to see Thor. Everybody likes Thor. There's Homemade and Healthy. Thanks, Kenny. All right, I'm going to get
Kenny
the cat.
is on it. Look at that.
There's Thor. You heard me call you. Come here.
There is no desk of fermentation anymore, John. Larry F., thank you so much. Yeah, John Ferguson. There are no more desk of fermentation, but a little while ago I shared a picture. I can pull it back up again.
Yeah, we'll bring it back up. We have a new designated spot so that Brian can retain his footroom under his desk.
Or did I close it already?
Come on, Thor.
Oh, come on. How did I do that?
Thor is teasing us. Oh, here he is. Ugh. You can't have my mead. I'm sorry, buddy. This is
that it?
Thor.
Yeah, there it is.
And there's the... So this is the new fermentation area. It has a door that is currently open for Brian to take the picture, so the light can't hit our fermentations. But that's our shelf where we keep all our fermentations now.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's just a
God! I'm
shelf.
so sorry, Big Rob.
What happened?
I'm so sorry.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. That's, we're not looking forward to that one because.
So Gizmo is our eldest, and she is 13 now. So
That makes Thor 11.
yeah, we have 7 cats.
How big is the shelf? I believe it's a standard Lowe's unit. Do you want to go measure it? Or nope? Nope. You got a
Nope.
Thor in your lap now.
Thor is claimed
I
his
want to
spot.
say it's like 5 feet wide and like 18, 20 inches tall. It's not super big, but it's just big enough that a 1 gallon fermenter with the airlock fits in. And you guys can't see me using my hands to gesture anymore. I was doing this while I was talking. It's like 18 inches, so I can just fit the fermenters in there. And I just used cardboard to line the whole thing so that it keeps cat hair out.
You could just see his ears. Blueberry wine. Oh, yummy.
Steve Bryn Brews, you are most welcome. We appreciate it. We love hearing that people were like, oh, I always wanted to do this and I could never do it. And then because of you guys, I tried. That's awesome. We love hearing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Trumer, yeah, it's basically just from Lowe's. It's their like metal
Yeah,
cabinet.
it's just the generic shelving unit, and
I
we
just stole one of the
whole
shelves.
top unit, whole top section we used for the fermenters, and what we did is we spaced the racks so that it was the perfect size for our fermenters, and we can actually fit the largest size up there, can't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can fit the big ones.
Thank
Can
you,
you
John.
safely use a bottle you forgot to clean and has mold in the bottom? LOL. After cleaning it. Well, if you clean it, it doesn't have mold in the bottom anymore.
Sure, yeah. If you got something really funky in there, you might want to soak it with some bleach for a little bit just to make sure.
Clean it, like bleach it, then clean it, and then sanitize it.
Yeah.
And it should be
And
fine,
then you should be
especially if it's glass. If it's plastic, throw it away.
Yeah,
Don't even bother.
yeah. Because plastics can have some unseen nooks and crannies where things can absorb in and then leach back into your brew, and you really don't want to deal
And
with that.
plastic is too similar to a lot of fats and oils, so it actually will somewhat chemically bond with them.
71 Beast! Woo!
Okay. Tea wine tasting. What changes would you make? I'd make it with something other than tea. Wasn't my favorite. It wasn't something I really liked. Although that's coming up. Oh no, that's something else. Sorry.
Yeah. K.E. Wheeler, I'm with you. It's. I have had fur babies my entire existence. My parents like to joke that when I was born, I actually thought I was a cat because
I'm pretty sure she still does.
My siblings were 2 Siamese cats, and I mimicked their behavior like all the time. So, yeah.
Yeah, how's the Viking blood? Somebody wants to know.
It is very nice. This is the fortified, full-on.
It's like 20%.
Viking blood. So, I am currently feeling no pain. But would I say I'm intoxicated? No. Would I drive a car?
All right. How is it?
No. Is it
It
good?
doesn't taste like 20%.
Oh, would you like some Derica tasting notes?
Oh, here we go. Go for it.
First, on the color, it is that beautiful red color. It has a slight tint of orange, but it is so deep that it's just a beautiful thing. It's like
Chance, remind me in 5 minutes when she's done with this.
it's like if Ruby and Amber had a baby, that would be the color.
Okay, several people have asked about honeysuckle. We've never made a honeysuckle mead. No.
And that's a shame because we really should. We have Cape honeysuckle growing here, which I don't believe is edible. I may be wrong. Back home, on the other coast of Florida, we grew the traditional honeysuckle
K.E. Wheeler,
that actually tastes like honey, and that you could just drink it right out of the flowers, and I did that all the time when I was a kid. But unfortunately, that source of honeysuckle has since died out. I think my dad chopped it down. So if I can get my hands, we have a Jinx. Here's Jinx.
Someone wanted me to finish what I was saying about turbo yeast.
Okay.
Turbo yeast was really intended for distillers. It's not really meant for home brewers to brew with, and it's just not really a great yeast. I mean, it does it fast, but it doesn't do a great job. It creates off flavors. It's kind of nasty. It strips flavors out. It's kind of like what I used to think about champagne yeast times 100. It's just really not a great yeast to use. Speaking of that, Chance said that a little birdie told him that I now like EC 1118. Okay, like it? Strong statement. Do I hate it as much as I used to? No. I believe it does have its uses. However, I don't make a lot of 18% brews, so for me, it's not that useful. But we did test it, and it did do a fine job, and I don't have an issue with it anymore. Does that answer the question?
So if I can get my hands on a traditional honeysuckle, I will grow said honeysuckle again, and maybe we'll be able to collect enough to try doing something with it.
That's a good question. What are both of your top 2 favorite tasting meads you've made?
Meads specifically? Because the things I really enjoy actually fell outside of the mead spectrum.
Brandon, your wife cannot have them. Especially not Tigger. Bye, Cheryl.
Bye.
2 favorite meads. Go. 2 favorite
Meads.
brews. Let's just go brews.
Okay, brews, the Mojito Kill You,
Yeah, I knew that.
and Klingon Blood Wine.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Shocker. My top one? Spiced Metheglin. Easy. My second? That's a tougher one.
Rose petals, not rose hips. We tried rose hips initially,
They're weird.
and they're really weird. We tried so many different ways to extract the rose essence from them, and we had much difficulty. We got the rose petals, done. Perfect.
I think my second favorite would be my first mead. The basic traditional one. Yeah, that would be my second favorite. Although the first capsule I ever made that I can't seem to reproduce again, that was amazing.
Now, the jasmine flowers, my parents again did have jasmine. I don't know if it's still there. I would have to go back and check. And I don't know if it's large enough for me to collect enough to try to do something with. But I really like the floral infused beverages. Brian doesn't as much. So we would have to see. It would be on the list, but I don't know how far up on the list.
Valerie, take a reading at 5 or 6 weeks, wait a week, take another one. If it doesn't change, you're done. If it changes, wait another week, take another reading. I sound like, what's his face?
You sound like Miracle
Max.
Okay, back to my tasting notes. So we've talked about the
I
color.
thought you were done.
Now we're on to the aroma. The aroma, now remember, this is fortified, so it does
With
have
Everclear.
an alcoholic essence to it.
Not a sponsor.
Whenever Brian says not a sponsor, my inner voice says, but they could be. And I don't really know if
I don't really want
I
Everclear
want
to be a sponsor.
be sponsored by Everclear, but my inner voice said it anyway, so.
Zephyr Homestead, why are all Americans complaining about snow? I'm not complaining about snow.
We're in Florida. We're not complaining about snow.
Half the Americans are complaining about snow. The other half live in Florida or Texas.
Stacy's in Pennsylvania. She's allowed to complain about snow.
Yeah, Stacy's in a place in Pennsylvania where they measure snow in feet, not in inches.
Yeah.
Stacy is from like 2 hours south of where I grew up. So we're basically neighbors. And Stacy is one of the few people on this chat that we've actually met in person because of City Steading.
Yep.
Yep, we went up to visit my mom and stopped in to see him. Wow. Just
It
exploded again.
I'm trying to explain the scent on this. Texas is under snow. That just hurts my brain. I don't know. Texas is just like right over there.
He said, oh boy, here comes the long sip.
And
They know you. That's funny.
And I'm sorry you're under snow. Hopefully you'll thaw out soon.
Minus 25 here in northwestern Oklahoma.
Yeesh.
Okay, I have to ask a question. Why in the hell would you live somewhere where it gets to minus 25 degrees?
Okay.
I'd move.
Person in Oklahoma, there is a house literally the next street south of us
Yeah.
that's for sale. Just went on the market. So you could just move right there. They have a huge yard. You could have a super stupendous garden in that yard. Just saying.
Yeah, the meetup happened before the pandemic. Like a year before it. Oh, was it a year before it? I think it was just a few months, actually.
Oh, with Stacy?
Mm-hmm. We met Stacy and
Well,
we
it was-
met
it
Michael
was-
John
It was
and his wife.
It was Christmas.
Yep.
So it wasn't
2 years ago.
last Christmas. Was it the Christmas before that?
Yeah, it was Christmas before that. It's 9 degrees in Texas. Brian Blackwell, I want to live in Florida. Well, you say that until you move
It's
here.
right there. Just right there.
Yep, there's houses for sale. Ryan Holiday, green screen action is hot tonight. That is not a green screen.
Green screen? We don't green screen. We actually purchased a green screen, and
And it
our
sucked.
green screen is just complete and total awful. So we will never, ever green screen again. This is a backdrop. It's not a green screen. It's just something that's physically
Okay.
hanging there.
Kevin Kahili with the poll about usual fruits, gooseberry, dragon fruit. The problem is we can't get those things. So if I can't get it, I don't really want to do a brew on it because it doesn't make a lot of sense. Nap Floridian, take care, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here and the whole pumping up the likes and all that. Thank you so much. That was awesome.
So Christian, because your last name is also in my family tree's last name, and you are in Denmark, dude, we could totally be related. Just saying. I can't give a proper explanation as to what this smells like.
Stacy, I actually don't use a green screen when we do Zoom. It's just the fake
Oh,
background thing.
you
It
mean-
looks like the green
Yeah,
screen.
it's in the program. It's a
Yeah, it's just a dropped-in background.
Yeah,
but it uses a
so-
green screen type technology. It just uses facial recognition, actually.
and normally it picks black and makes black.
It just makes me float.
And so that's
look
why
like a floating head.
whenever he wears a black shirt, the green screen or the
I look like one of
the
those fire
overlay.
creatures from Labyrinth when they play with their heads and stuff. Come on, you know what I'm talking about.
All right. All flavors occur more often at higher or lower end of the yeast recommendation. Higher or lower temperature? Is that what they're asking? Dr. Simmons 74. Could you clarify your question, please? Is it you're talking about temperature range or ABV range?
Also, somebody keeps asking about scratches on glass fermenters. Can he just tag me?
Glass fermenters. scratches can be an issue, but as long as you properly cleanse them,
In glass, it's not as bad as
it
plastic.
shouldn't be a deal. The problem with plastic, because plastic is a petroleum-based product, it can go beyond that surface scratch, where glass is not a petroleum-based product, so the scratch is just as far as the contaminants can go, if that makes sense.
Bunkers boys, 2 hours and going. Is going to turn into cooking with Brian soon? No, because I thought ahead and I got chili on the stove already.
We have chili.
Best blender for cider. I guess they don't mean like
Oh, like a
mixer.
drink? A mixer.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Best blenders, Vitamix. Got a red one right over there.
But to go with cider, oh wow! I mean, you could put peach
Anything.
like peach schnapps in it would be really tasty. I
Whiskey's
think.
actually really good. with
Whiskey's
cider.
good. You can heat it and treat it like a hot cider type thing, and put mulling spices and stuff in it.
Wait, somebody said, what's the best temp or finalized cider? Is it below 1.000? Okay, temperature and specific gravity are completely different things, and there is no best. It's best for you. Some people like it to be a little sweet. Some people like it a little dry. 1.000 is considered dry. It also means that it's the neutrality of water, so there's really not much sugar in it. So some people like it that way. Some people like it a little sweeter.
Fireball, don't curse at us like that. So on my long sip, I'm just
Oh
gonna
my God, really? You're
extend
still
this.
doing that?
It's very honey forward, which I find kind of surprising.
I have had Springbank, yeah.
And
I
then,
like Lagavulin and I
then
like
there's
Ardbeg.
a little residual of the hibiscus essence, but I honestly preferred the hibiscus mead, as I said earlier, than to the full-on. Thank you, Rock M.
Thank you. Yes, Rock M, thank you so much. Worrying Antro go here, purple. Swear someone broke in and stole all my seeds, just the seeds, nothing else.
Oh my gosh, that would make me cry.
Well, they stole the good stuff at least. I mean, I don't know what else you had, but they stole good stuff. So maybe they have some taste. But anyway, James Brown, how long would you guys add citra hop pellets to an aging mead? I have no idea. We don't really hop our meads. We get that question every once in a while. I don't really go for hops so much.
We're not hopheads at all. Like, we're like anti-hopheads. We don't really like the flavor profile of hops and what it adds to any beverage, including beer. So,
Stephen, you're right. That was a very, very long sip. She's still sipping it.
but I
What do I think about the Balvenie? I like it. It's not my favorite, though. I actually prefer Ardbeg.
Do you want to know, honestly, and this is a really lame thing, which whiskey we really wish we enjoyed, but we didn't? And, of course, now I blanked on the name, but it's the one with the horses. Where they had a different horse on the different...
Yeah. Crap, I can't think of it. Somebody will know. Edda, could I put the formula for calculating ABV when step feeding on our website? Okay, it's really simple. You just add up all the gravity that's spent. Times it by 135. That's it.
The dry meads will come out as soon as they're done, and considering...
No, not Scoresby. Scoresby sucks. Scoresby's what I put in the airlocks.
Blanton's. Thank you.
Blanton's, yes,
Thank you,
Blanton's.
Howard. Yes.
And Maestro.
So, one of the cruises that we went on, we did all the whiskey tastings because that's how we roll. And there was one rep there for the Blanton's company, and they had a special thing where you could get a display if you collected all the different tops from the different Blantons on a used stave from an actual Blanton's whiskey barrel. And the collector in me was like, oh, that's so awesome. But we really weren't a fan of the whiskey, so it just never happened.
I like this one.
Wild turkey, yeah. I mean, it's good. It's really good for the price point, and then you get the full 101 effect, and it's still smooth for that alcohol percentage.
And the other one that I like, I can't reach right now. Saying the flavors. Yeah, it is possible when you use plastic. Yeah.
Yes, we did have
peat
that
in
issue.
Mead? No, I'm not using.
We did
the
have.
thing is, you don't put peat in it. It's not peat. They use peat smoke to smoke the grains to stop them from sprouting. So that's why it tastes like smoky peat. But there's no peat in Scotch.
I really really enjoy ryes because I really enjoy black pepper, and I find that the rye whiskeys have that peppery note that I really like. And yeah,
Jameson.
of course, Jameson. There's something else. I feel like I'm on tangents upon tangents upon
Hey,
tangents.
people are asking questions. They're here 2 hours. I'm okay with answering whatever they want to ask. Well, within reason.
Moscatel, is that like Moscato?
Might be.
If the question is Moscato, I love
Moscatel. No, that's a different thing.
I
That's a
love
brand,
Moscato. Oh, okay.
think.
Okay, we had a smoked chili honey that was super yummy. I could put that on anything and be very, very happy.
Right. Steve Bryn, my Bruce, he's been asking this a couple times.
Okay.
With cider, what FG should it be to be sweet? That's personal preference, but generally speaking, anything above 1.010 is considered sweet.
Thank you, RK. We love you
Okay,
too.
wow, man. Thank you so much. Understood using peated grains in mead. Well, see, if you use peated grains, then it's not necessarily mead. I mean, you're kind of making a braggot at that point. It could be done. I might try it someday.
Thank you, Duncan.
Duncan, thank you. Jameson Castmates goes really good with corned beef. Put some in the corned beef.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's
Yeah.
really, really good. This shirt that I'm wearing, the DIY, absolutely, this is one of ours. Kenny, hit him with the link for the shop. It's in there. Opinions on using oak barrel. I know somebody's asked this a bunch of times. I'm sorry. There's so many questions.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of oaking mead in a barrel. For one, most barrels, in order to be effective, have to be large, 50 gallons or more. You have to have it sit through seasons, which means you need to be in a temperate zone that gets cold and warm to really be truly effective, because it soaks into the wood, it comes back out of the wood, and it leaches with each time, and it goes a little bit deeper and a little further, and it gets all the good stuff out that way. However, the problem with that is you're also going to lose quite a bit of product. And I don't know anybody that makes 50 gallons of mead at a time. Maybe a meadery does. Now, you might think, oh, I'll just use a smaller barrel. Okay, well, let's use a 1 gallon barrel or a 3 gallon barrel. You're going to lose quite a bit. And those, because they're not made for this as well, tend to leak pretty badly. So you're probably going to lose more product than you really think. And you're not going to get the same effect even if you were to leave it through seasons. If you left it through a couple of seasons, there's nothing left in that barrel. And here's my take on oaking. Oaking really is there to pull out a little bit of the vanillins and the tannins and the linens from the wood. So you're much better off taking a bottle, dropping a spiral in there, using some oak chips or oak cubes, let it go for a couple months, and you're done. You're going to get 90% of all the good stuff without losing your brew and without potentially harming it, spoiling it, or it leaking all over the place. Hopefully that answered the question.
So yeah, oak chips, the way to go. We are both sporting our City Steading merch t-shirts today.
Texi, thank you so much.
I am wearing the City Steading Brews t-shirt, which obviously the channel is no longer called City Steading Brews. It's called City Steading Mead and More, which I am working on a new design. But this is the whiskey label inspired design from the City Steading Brews. Brian is wearing the BIY t-shirt, brew it yourself, because that's what you should be doing.
And GM Scott, thank you so much for backing me up. I appreciate that. Albon, if it stopped and it just restarted, it's possible you either moved it. It's possible that the temperature changed just enough. 1 degree, 2 degrees is enough to actually sometimes kick them back in. Things like that are what usually does it. Shelly, John, Peter, thank you so much. We love that you watch what we do.
Yes.
Okay. Can't you second brew using a barrel with lager? I don't really know what you mean by that.
Did we think
I thanked somebody.
Texi?
Yeah, I thanked Texi.
Okay, good.
Texi,
good,
thank
good,
you.
Good. Just
I thanked him again just to make sure.
Yes, we did pick the right person. Kenny is super, super duper awesome. He's in Canada, so say hi, Canada.
Hey.
And he originally said yes, he would do this for us when we were going to be on Twitch, because he's super familiar with Twitch and mods on various channels on Twitch. So if you're a fan of games, go to Twitch and maybe you'll see him there. But when we switched, we're like, oh no, we're going to lose Kenny. And he said no, he would stay on as mod. So thank you so much.
Raymond, I pasteurize 750 ml bottles. Not a problem. And we're actually working on. Oh wow. Bill Dombrowski.
Wilkes-Barre.
Wait a minute. Are you related to Cheryl? Because I'm from Dunmore.
Dun dun dun.
And I know a Cheryl Dombrowski.
Jim Scott.
I'm multilingual. I mess up the American language in several dialects. I'll have you know. And guys, I hate to do this, but I got to put this screen up.
Uh-oh, is it that time?
Yeah, it's getting to be that time.
Thank you on the comment about Odin's Brewery t-shirt. For those of you that don't know, Brian's old Odin's Brewery t-shirt was one that we got from Amazon, and it really irritated me because they didn't apostrophe S the Odin's. Because it should be help me out here. Words.
What? I don't
Possessive.
remember what
Possessive.
Oh, yeah. It was weird. It was wrong.
So somehow it came out that somebody else said that they didn't like that. So I'm like, okay, now I am going to make a new design. And that's how, well, you're not wearing it, but that's how the Odin's Brewery t-shirt came out.
Yeah, Bill Dombrowski. I'm from Dunmore. Yep. Grew up in Dunmore, went to Dunmore High, the whole thing. Yeah. Okay, Raymond Laney. You've asked twice now. Blueberry Hibiscus Mead. I was trying to ignore this one. It's not. We're not going to use it. It didn't work.
We
It
tried
stalled.
all the things. Even the things we said we'd never try. We tried, and it still didn't work, and we don't know why.
So we ended up with a brew that stalled and has chemicals in it that we don't want to drink. So it is no more. I'm very sorry, but now you know.
But that,
Whoa!
that was
Get over here,
Tigger.
Tigger.
But that doesn't mean that we're not going to continue to try, and then we'll share the results once we are successful with you. How do we not make something taste like cough syrup? Well, if you feel like your mead is tasting like cough syrup,
probably
it
too sweet.
might be too sweet, and you might prefer it drier.
You might be using too much.
So I would
too much honey.
suggest cutting down on the honey amounts and using perhaps a higher tolerance yeast, and that will cut down on the sweetness, and it might be less of a cough syrup flavor to you. Thanks, Vince.
Yes. Thanks, Vince. By the way, everybody, how about everybody give a round of applause to Kenny
Yay, Kenny!
for managing this whole thing and trying frantically to get my attention to look at things that I didn't see. Kenny did such an amazing job. That was awesome. And thoughts on Jim Beam? It's not my favorite. I'm not a big Jim Beam fan. I never have been. I like Wild Turkey if I'm going for the cheap stuff. Steve My Brews, I will comment on your videos. Yeah, that's the easiest way. I'm so sorry. This is kind of a rushed thing, so I'm trying to
Thank
get
you,
to everybody.
Raymond.
Raymond, thank you so much, guys. Well, thank you so much, Guy. You, Raymond. Thank you. How often are you going to do live streams? Probably more often, because this worked out really, really well. The equipment was our biggest stumbling block, and I finally just said, you know what? People have been investing in our channel for us, so we're going to invest back, and we thought, let's just do it. So we did a go big or go home. I didn't own a laptop until yesterday. So, you know, we did all this just spur of the moment because we thought this is a really cool idea, and we want to do more of these. We'll probably do more topic-based rather than just an open forum like this turned into being. But, oh my God,
It's all good.
This was
It's
so
all good.
cool. I wish I could answer more of the questions that came up because I know I got like maybe 1 in 100 comments that came through.
All right, so we need a Yay Kenny t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Done.
Not a They Killed Kenny t-shirt.
No,
That's a whole different thing.
No. Whoa. You want to say goodbye, Jinx?
All right.
Say
Okay.
Goodbye.
30 seconds left. Yeah, Tony Davies, thank you. Derica Lonacera japonica is the honeysuckle you need to get for your brew.
Yep.
Chris Wooten, thanks so much for joining in. Kenny, oh my God.
He's afraid. He's very afraid.
Oh, yeah.
Good night.
It's
Thank
just
you.
flying
Thank
by
you.
now. Guys, thank you so much. We love you all. Thanks so much for coming in and watching and spending 2 hours or 2 hours and 16 minutes with us. We didn't expect it to go quite this long. We
No.
thought after like 20 minutes, it's going to peter out, like 5 people will be here and we'll just go, we're done. See ya. So anyway, I got to go eat some chili or else I start having problems. So
Yeah.
we're going to go. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great night. And Richard, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Got it in just under the wire. I was just about to hit the end stream. Anybody else before I hit the end stream? I'm just kidding.
We'll
I'm just
see
kidding.
you.